Yeah. All right, thanks for bearing with us, guys. In the nick of time, here we are, Donald J. Monin Park, Wednesday midweek hump day matinee, and a very special outing as we're about to get started here. On the mound, you've seen him. You haven't seen him quite that often this season. It's number 34, Josh Eastman. This is his fourth appearance and his first start of the season, and one of few starts in Josh's career. Suffered an elbow injury on the trip in Florida and was dealing with some other physical ailments as well. Decided to go back to the lab, tinker with his delivery a little bit, and this is a new and maybe improved Josh Eastman getting the start today in this non-conference matchup against NEC. Some knuckleballs in the repertoire, some off-speed that you guys will expect to see. Let's see what Josh can put together in terms of his outing. And now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Pilgrims from New England College. Luca Giolongo, the team's third best batter in terms of average, leading it off. He is in center field this afternoon. Brady Philibot, he leads the Pilgrims in a multitude of offensive categories. He is second. Kyle Dobry, the team's leader in average, batting third, and getting his first start of the season, the designated hitter Sylvain Audet, and he will be in the cleanup spot. J.D. Norman catching, batting fifth. He brings some power to the lineup, along with the first baseman, Brett Patnode, in the sixth spot. Bryce Worth, Ryan Cote, and Devin Parsons rounding out the starting lineup for the Pilgrims. And NEC coming into action on the afternoon with a record of 9-17. Surprisingly, this is an anomaly we'll get into. They are a good team away from home, away from Henniker, New Hampshire. They're 6-6 on the road, so they're attempting to get above 500 on the road with today's outing. Giolongo in the box, and let's get started here at Monin Park. First pitch is swung on. It's grounded deep into the gap. Zerilli with the backhand throw across the way, and he gets him by a half step. Giolongo, a quick, speedy runner down the first base line, and that was pretty deep in the gap. But Zerilli, for out number one, calm and collected. One pitch, one out. I'm sure if you had asked Josh Eastman before this game got started, you couldn't ask for a better start than that. Probably going to be on a limited pitch count, so as many batters as you can get through and as few pitches as possible. It's a good start for the senior. Brady Philibot, the team's starting shortstop, in, and he takes a strike. That one cutting across the plate. And Eastman, 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and a nice start for the senior, making this surprise start. Late on the off-speed pitch, that one coming inside a little bit on Brady Philibot. He fouls it off and quickly is behind 0-2. Eastman waiting. Gets the sign from Craig Corliss. He sets up on the outside of the plate. That one swing grounded to the exact same spot. Zerilli dives. That's going to be a tough throw across the diamond, and beating the throw by a couple of steps is Brady Philibot, and that's just going to be a well-placed ground ball single for Philibot for the first hit of the afternoon for the Pilgrims. Kyle Dobry, batting third. He's the team's left fielder, left-handed batter, out of Mastic, New York. He's in his sophomore season. For Dobry, he leads all hitters on the Pilgrims with a 294 average. 5 of his 15 hits on the season, extra base hits, they are all doubles. Philibot on first. Beautiful off-speed pitch from Eastman to get that count started, looping it around the plate. And Josh, all things considered, with kind of a brand new repertoire, known for his velocity, known for his intense lateral movement on his pitches, going to take a bit off today and looking pretty comfortable. Let's see if we get a true knuckleball here. This one coming in, that one a 3/4 delivery, fouled off late. And of all 5 pitches that Josh Eastman has thrown so far this afternoon, they've all been strikes. Quickly, Dobry down in the count 0-2. It's Brady Philibot leading off, just about a 3-step lead. Levitt holding him on. Corliss and Eastman resetting the count here. Eastman takes a quick look over towards Philibot at first and comes set. 0-2 pitch on the way. Down low. Corliss does a nice job coming down to block it. And you can see there Eastman just trying to get Dobry maybe to chase at that one in the dirt. Count goes to 1-2. Dobry's only drawn 6 walks on the season. 45 at-bats on the year. He has not taken the walk. He's behind here. And he takes a big hack and a big strikeout for Josh Eastman. So 3 up, 2 down. And Eastman gets Dobry swinging on the big looping curveball. He's not going to be throwing any fastballs this afternoon, folks. I can tell you that, or a fastball from Josh Eastman's standards. I got to talk to Josh last week, actually, before a lacrosse game, and he said, look, I think I can touch 80 on the gun. I think any pitcher that's going to start a game can tell you that here. But look at this, another big looping breaking ball, and it finds the outside corner as Sylvain Audette stepping in for the Pilgrims. Audette, a big 6'1" outfielder from Springfield, New Hampshire. That one coming in and just missing low and inside. I think that's basically the look that you're going to be seeing for a fastball out of Josh Eastman. 8 pitches so far in the afternoon, just 1 has been a ball. 1-1 pitch, that one. Great frame job there by Corliss, but it does miss about 5 or 6 inches out off the outside corner of the plate. And so for the first time today, Eastman working behind the hitter a day ahead, 2-1. Eastman takes a quick look. It's still Philpott over there at first. About 2 steps off the bag. That one looping, and that misses inside there as Eastman, you can see, kind of pulled that one on his delivery. And Audet in a very big hitter's count right now, with the count sitting at 3-1. This is just the 4th game, just the 2nd start, and just the 5th at bat of the season for Sylvain Audet. But he's in a big spot right here to maybe do some damage. 3-1 pitch and a late swing. That one had some velocity on it as Eastman almost sneaks the fastball past Audet, and now back to a full count. Josh Eastman now 13 pitches on the afternoon here. And the surprise midweek start has allowed 1 base runner on a ground ball. Didn't even get out of the infield, but a well-placed ground ball single out of Brady Philpott. Here's the 3-2 pitch all the way, and that misses outside. Great discipline right there shown by Audet. And it'll be 2 base runners on for the 5-hole hitter, the catcher, J.D. Norman. So the 2nd walk drawn on the season for Sylvain Audet. So resetting the scene right now, it's Brady Philpott at first, or pardon me, at 2nd, Sylvain Audet at first, and here's the catcher, J.D. Norman, a 254 hitter in the right-handed batter's box. Takes a big swing on a first pitch breaking ball and fouls it back over our heads. Another first pitch strike for Josh Eastman. Every single batter has seen a first pitch strike out of Eastman, so I think Josh knows that the amount of pitches might be numbered that he's going to get to throw in this contest, and nice to see him taking advantage with some solid marksmanship in the early going. Philpott, a 2-step secondary lead. That one's lifted into right field. It's falling fast. Aiden Blake giving chase, and it'll drop in over his head. Philpott's going to score. Audet's getting waved as that one gets past Blake into the outfield, and that's going to be a 2-run error, unfortunately. Well, let's see. It's definitely going to be an error on the field after it dropped. It might be an initial base hit, but as it is, 2 runs scored off the bloop hit from J.D. Norman, and the 254 hitter coming in clutch, giving the Pilgrims a 2-0 lead to get this one started. Six-hole hitter coming up now. Brett Patnode in the left-handed batter's box and taking a ball outside for ball number 1. So it took the 6th hitter of the afternoon to see a first pitch ball from Josh Eastman. Patnode, the starting first baseman today. Little humpback line drive, soft bouncer right to Eastman. Those throws to first, never guaranteed, but that one is fielded cleanly by Levitt for out number 3. 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 very costly error charged against Aiden Blake. It's a 2-0 lead for NEC as we head to the bottom of the 1st inning. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
portion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are
And here's some clips of the action in inning number 1. That was the first hit of the inning. As you can see, Zerilli deep into the hole there. Philpott got on. And here we go. This is the bloop shot off the bat of Normand. It lands for a single right there. There's the problem, the fielding error on Blake. So one run is going to score in on the RBI as the bloop shot was just perfectly placed over the head of Aiden Blake. The subsequent chase of the baseball led to a fielding error, which led to that second run scoring on the play. And there you go, a nice recovery shown by Eastman to get the put out. But 6 runners up, 1 left on base, and 2 across for NEC, who is looking for their 10th win of the season. Let's take a look here at the starting pitcher for the NEC College Pilgrims. It's Christopher Shagnon. Shagnon, number 33 on the programs. Getting the start today, he is a true freshman out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. It's his 4th appearance and his 2nd start as he comes in with an 0-1 record and a 7.5 ERA on the season. So here's a chance for the Beacons offense to get started and make these 2 runs up here in the bottom of the first inning. Breon Parker, the exciting true freshman, into the box and lacing one in the left field, and just right where he needs to be is Kyle Dobry. He has to take just 2 steps to his right to put that one out. One swing, a loud swing, but a loud out number 1 for Breon Parker. Christopher Shagnon gonna like that. 1 pitch, 1 out. Same story we saw for Josh Eastman. And now the dangerous left-handed freshman Justin Gavea in the batter's box here. That one paints the outside corner for strike 1. Gavea in the middle of a super impressive freshman campaign. .315 average, slugging .521. He just hit his first collegiate home run earlier this week against UMass Dartmouth. And a good eye right there as that one buzzes the tower. And Gavea moves the count back even to 1-1. 10 extra base hits on the season already for the true freshman out of Dartmouth, Massachusetts. Breaking ball hammered into right field, and the run continues for Gavea. 1 hop to Ryan Cote, but he sets the table, wasting no time jumping all over that off-speed pitch and lining it into right for the base hit. And here we go. Now it's the big bopper in the order. Drew Metzdorf, the reigning LEC Offensive Player of the Week. The numbers speak for themselves. He's 2nd on the team in average, hitting .358. 2nd in home runs with 4. 2nd in RBIs with 21. And he leads the team with a .705 slugging percentage. It's a big test for Shagnon here. And he gets Metzdorf started with a strike on a breaking ball over the outside corner. Once again, it's Justin Gavea, the freshman, leading off on first. I would categorize that as, a moderate lead. They throw over. He's back safely. Brett Patnode holding him on. And the 0-1 pitch coming to Metzdorf. That was a breaking ball. Stayed back on it, loops it up behind us, and it's over the Beacons dugout. And quickly, Metzdorf behind in the count, 0-2. Six batters seeing the plate for the Pilgrims in the top of the first inning here. The Beacons just want to extend this inning. Metzdorf behind the 8 ball here. Shagnon looks over. 0-2 pitch, and Metzdorf is all over it. It is lifted deep to left. Tracking Dobry back, and it's off the wall. Gavea headed to third. He looks ahead of the throw, slides in safely, and that's a double off the wall for Drew Metzdorf. His strong offensive performance continues. He just got enough of that one to get it up over Kyle Dobry, and now the Beacons threatening with runners on 2nd and 3rd and just 1 out. All right, here is Aiden Blake. Big spot for Aiden, the team's leader in average. All the way up at .376 on the season. 2 runners in scoring position, and a late swing sends this one up and well foul behind us. Aiden Blake in his senior season out of Lakeville, Massachusetts. We talk about how Drew Metzdorf right now, the reigning LEC Player of the Week. Aiden bestowed that title a couple of different times last season. 0-1. On the way, Chagnon comes set, fires, and once again a fastball right down the pipe and slightly too late on the swing. I don't know if this is in the scouting report for Chagnon against Aiden Blake, but it's 2 straight fastballs right down the middle and 2 swings just a hair too late. Let's see where Chagnon goes here, waiting on his sign from the catcher, J.D. Norman. Norman looks like he's giving him some options here. Chagnon has what he likes. The 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball reached out into left center field. That one's going to drop into the gap. Gavea is going to score. Metzdorf had a beautiful read. He can pull up and just jog on home, and the Beacons tie this one up. That was a little number, but it doesn't matter as it drops in, and Aiden Blake ties it back up with a 2 RBI single to center field. So it's Gavea and Metzdorf scoring, tying this game at 2 apiece. And now Craig Corliss, the big catcher out of the 5-hole, in the batter's box here. Runner on first is Aiden Blake. That one a fastball in again from Chagnon, missing low and away. And so it seemed like this inning got started with a fair peppering of off-speed pitches from the freshman Christopher Chagnon. And right now, he's going back to the fastball. Second pickoff attempt. That one bounced in low. Nice job by Patno to get a glove on it. Aiden Blake back in more than enough time. The 1-0 pitch missing outside, well outside, and so Chagnon now, he was locked in on the strike zone and the first couple of at-bats. I mean, Parker only saw 1 pitch. By the time Gavea was done, three pitches, 3 strikes. One of them was a base hit. 3 straight balls right now, and Corliss gets the green light, and this is a tailor-made double play ball. A great scoop from Patnode, and how about that? Exactly what you didn't expect. The Beacons able to tie it up, but then leave some meat on the bone in the bottom of the first inning. We'll head to the top of the second inning, knotted up at 2, here on the Little East Conference Network. Pardon me. Here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LEC.TV.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Before we get started in the top of the second, there is the blow that got everything started. A rip shot into the gap for Gavea. Metzdorf rips one deep off the wall just over the head of Dobry in left field. It chases him in, and Gavea gets to third safely. That set the table with runners on second and third, and then it was Aiden Blake out of the cleanup spot. First pitch swinging, reaches out and doesn't get all of it, but gets enough of it right in between the left and center fielder. And Giolongo, by the time he gets to it, Gavea's in, Metzdorf hot on his tail, and that got us knotted at 2 apiece, which is where we stand right now. So Chagnon got out of that inning, 15 pitches thrown, and now Josh Eastman, he's still on the bump for the Beaks. 18 pitches in that first inning. Got through the first 2 hitters relatively easy, the first 3 hitters relatively easy. It was a ground out on the 2 pitches against Giolongo. Philpott singled on the next pitch, and then he struck out Dobry swinging it. It looked like he might have gotten out of the inning. A walk to Audet, and then a bloop single followed by an error that led to a 2-run play driven in by J.D. Norman, and that is how NEC has their 2 runs. It'll be the bottom of the order for the top of the second inning for the Pilgrims, and leading it off, the second baseman, number 1, Bryce Worth. He's a senior out of Southington, Connecticut. Worth in the right-handed batter's box with a bit of an open stance, waiting for Eastman. Eastman comes set and delivers. Breaking ball beautifully placed right there, just dotting the outside corner. And Worth finds himself down in the count here, 0-1. 0-1 into Eastman. He goes really low on that release point, much lower than we normally see Josh slot the pitch from. That one misses outside and evens us back up at 1-1. 20 pitches in, and Eastman in a different scenario that he's been in really any time in his pitching career, just kind of handcuffed with what he can throw, looking comfortable up there on the mound. It's still his mound, and Josh Eastman always intimidating physical presence to go up against is big number 34, and even without the velocity right there, making the hitters look uncomfortable, that one just misses low, and the count goes back even on Bryce Worth, 2-2. Josh, a grad student out of Marshfield, Massachusetts, looking for his second strikeout of the afternoon here, and gets it. Oh, he walked away. He loved the placement on that one. Worth goes down staring, and it's 7 batters and 2 strikeouts for Josh Eastman to get this contest started. And we go down to the 8 hitter, the right fielder, number 14, Ryan Cote. He started in all 20 games he's played this season, has Cote, batting just 164, slugging 327, only 9 hits on the season. He's found the ability to get on base and takes the first pitch. And that 1-1 pitch lifted to right. Gavea settles under it, squeezes it, and it's 2 quick outs here for Josh Eastman to get this top of the second inning started. Devin Parsons, the third baseman. Next up here is Eastman, currently riding a 5-pitch inning right now. Parsons, a senior out of Salisbury, Mass, and he can do nothing with that beautiful slider. It just freezes him. It started on the middle inner third of the plate, and it caught the outside corner. That's got to be tough to look at. And he looks at another one. That one misses just low. The lateral run on these pitches from Josh Eastman, I'm certain that that's what he wants to have going right now. The count is even at 1-1. Eastman working fast. 1-1 pitch on the way. That one pulled a bit. Good patience there, you can see, for Devin Parsons after he stared at a tough first pitch strike. He's kept the bat on his shoulders, and he works the count back into his favor to 2-1. That another one, breaking ball running away from Parsons. He fouls it off into the netting. And so Eastman 1 pitch away from very quick work here in the top of the second inning. This game tied at 2 apiece. J.D. Norman, an RBI single. Another run scored on a fielding error gave the Pilgrims a 2-0 lead. That one is ripped into right field. It sends Gavea back. Still going back, headed towards the pole, and no, he reaches up and makes a lovely basket catch. And so it takes just 11 pitches for Josh Eastman to go 1-2-3, and we'll head to the bottom of the second inning. Still tied here at Monin Park. Pilgrims 2, Beacons 2. Bottom of the second coming up right after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Back here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network as we take a look at some great work put in from Josh Eastman in the top of the second inning. Dotting the outside corner as he strikes out. Bryce Worth looking. And then getting some help defensively out of his right fielder, Justin Gavea. As Devin Parsons put a charge into this one, you can see it send Gavea back. He took a step in first, retreating, makes the nice catch around the 380 sign, and retiring the order. 1, 2, 3. Christopher Chagnon, I got that wrong. He's only thrown 13 pitches in this contest. Still was able to find a way to allow 2 runs out of those 13 pitches. And now another test. The shortstop, Gianni Zerilli Jr. at the plate for the Beaks, trying to take the lead here in the early going of this Hump Day matinee contest at Monin Park. 0-1 pitch coming. Zerilli out in front of that one and just chops it right into the ground. Nice play there by the third base coach as he tosses that one into the Pilgrims dugout. And Zerilli quickly in the hole here, 0-2. Gianni, a solid season continuing, batting .305 on the season. That one coming in, and yeah, he threw his elbow into that one. You can't do that. I saw that where that pitch was coming. It looked like it would have been an inside ball. Zerilli is going to get called for a strikeout as he throws his elbow into that pitch. The umpire deemed it would have been a strike, and So that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Christopher Chagnon. You'll take it however you can get it. Really, that's a nice job dotting the inside corner. That is the decision by the umpire on that play. And so Zerilli strikes out. Boston Burris into the batter's box. Boston getting the start at first base this afternoon. He's a junior out of Highland Village, Texas. Making just his 5th start of the season. 1-1 pitch, a little bit of a late swing on that one as the count evens back to 1-1. Yeah, making just his 5th start of the season, but good numbers in the playing time that Boston has seen. Batting .300 exactly on the season. 1-1 pitch is laced to left center field. It sends Dobry back to end Giolongo, and it splits both of them into the gap. Giolongo reaches out with a bare hand. He couldn't come up with it, and Burris, he pulled up just a hair, rounding second, so he'll hold at second. Really halfway between trying to stretch it into a triple, makes the right decision as Giolongo reached out with his right hand after that ball dropped, didn't field it cleanly, and that is a laced double. And so the good numbers for Boston Burris are going to continue now. The average is going to jump up over 300, and that's the 2nd double on the season. And once again, runners in scoring position. Now in inning number 2. Reed Burkett Schneider, the sophomore out of Austin, Texas, in the left-handed batter's box with a runner on second, and he takes a well-placed fastball from Christopher Chagnon, dotting the outside corner and getting the count started at 0-1. Burkett Schneider, this is just his 5th at-bat of the season, his first start of the year. He does have an RBI to his name. This would be a lovely time for Ribby number 2. A pitch out there, misses everything. I have to assume that was a pitch out as Burris had a big secondary lead there. He stays put, and the count moves to 1-1. This is Reed Burkett Schneider. Christopher Chagnon on the mound for the Pilgrims. This is his 8th batter faced, and this is just his 20th pitch thrown in the contest. Big looping breaking ball. It just skirts around the strike zone, misses wide, and the count jumps to 2-1. And so Chagnon, he's seen a lot of action. The Beacons already with 4 hits, but that untimely double play ball from Craig Corliss put an end to the bottom of the 1st inning. And some nice fielding help as well as kept Chagnon relatively untouched. Nice hitter's count right now for Burkett Schneider as he works it to 3-1. And let's see what the sign is as he has Boston Burris dancing with a rather large lead off second base. Play to be made if they want to throw back. Instead, the 3-1 pitch coming in and dots the bottom outside corner. Burkett Schneider, nothing he could do except spit on that one, and still strike given by the umpire. Couldn't throw that pitch any better if you're Chagnon, and he brings the count back full against Reed Burkett Schneider. Burris retreating a bit. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that one does miss. Great frame job attempted there from J.P. Norman, but he misses outside. And that's the first walk issued by Christopher Chagnon. It brings up Luke Levitt in the midst of a hitting lull, but with a chance to really deliver some damage here. Runners on first and second. It's Boston Burris who laced a double into the left center field gap on second. Burkett Schneider on first. That one inside on Luke Levitt. Almost looked like the same situation that happened to Zerilli Jr. there. Luke crowding the plate. No problems with that. It just misses his right elbow. Luke Jr. out of Manchester, Massachusetts. 1-0 pitch on the way. And that was a perfect frame job from J.P. Norman. I think that one might have just skirted off the outside corner of the plate. He brought it right back in, and it evens the count at 1-1. Chagnon not coming inside all that often. Not sure if that's a batter-by-batter approach here or if just the way he prefers it, but he's dotting that outside corner. Goes right at it again and paints it again. And Levitt seeing the same pitch 2 straight times, and he's behind back in the count, 1-2. Burris elongating that lead again. Do not want to suffer another double play here. He stays put. The 1-2 pitch misses well outside, and I believe that probably was by design. Can't get upset at this. If you're the Beacons coaching staff right now, Levitt, if nothing else, winding up this pitch count. Chagnon only had to throw 13 pitches in spite of allowing 2 runs in that first inning. This will be his 13th pitch of inning number 2. right here, and it's a 2-2 pitch on the way. Levitt does a nice job waiting on that breaking ball. It does pull it foul right into the hands of our first base coach. So Levitt back at it with a 2-2 count here. Burris, not sure if he got the best read on that one from second base. Thought that one might have been going fair. He jogs back. We're reset. Norman gets his sign. Chagnon likes it. Comes set. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that is a big breaking ball. It just misses the top of the zone high there. I thought he might have dropped it back down. Great patience out of Luke Levitt here, as this is now a 7-pitch at-bat for the junior. Takes a look back towards his dugout. Burris on second. Burkett Schneider on first. Ball game knotted up at 2 apiece. Full count. Pitch high. And so the bases will be loaded. Great job there from Luke Levitt, showing the patience the entire way. Takes a first pitch ball, falls behind in the count 1-2. Doesn't panic. Draws his walk. And here's Breon Parker. He swung on the first pitch he saw and sent a liner deep into the left center field gap. Kyle Dobry was able to get to it and snag it, preventing a big leadoff hit to start the game for Breon Parker. But maybe an even better situation for the freshman right here, as he has the bases loaded and just 1 out in a tied 2-2 ball game. Parker donning the number 8. He's a Western Mass resident from Springfield, played his high school ball at Windsor. That one handcuffed him a little bit right over the middle. Parker looks for strike 1. Minimal lead out of Levitt. Burkett Schneider shading over a bit. Oh, beautiful breaking ball. Haven't seen too many of those out of Christopher Chagnon. And that one just drops in beautifully right after peppering in the fastball. And so Parker, 0-2 in this count. This is his second at-bat today. He's only seen 3 pitches in this ball game. Can he deliver some damage here on this 0-2 pitch? Chagnon loops the breaking ball. It's off the end of the bat, and it's over the second baseman, and maybe going to split the gap. Burris scores. Burkett Schneider scores. They pulled up the stop sign for Luke Levitt, and there you go. Parker gets robbed in his first at-bat. He comes back and delivers with a 2 RBI double, and the Beacons take a 4-2 lead. So Burris, Burkett, Schneider both scoring, and for Breon Parker, it is his 4th double of the season. Those are RBIs 18 and 19, and his team leading, now tied for the team high with 32 hits. Justin Gavea got everything started for the Beacons in the bottom of the first inning, ripping a single, and he scored 2 batters later. Didn't expect this as the manager up to the mound. That will put an end to Christopher Chagnon's day. And so as the new pitcher comes in and gets warmed up, we will take ourselves a break, give ourselves a chance to reset, and tell you about who's coming in right after this. It's the middle of the bottom of the second inning. Beacons leading 4-2. More right after this break on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors.
All right, we rejoin the action here. This is a replay on the play you just saw. Breon Parker reaching out there in an 0-2 count, slapping that into the right center field gap. Plating two. Thought about sending, that was Luke Levitt. He's got held at third, so runners on second and third. And this is the man faced with getting out of the jam. It's number 25 for the Pilgrims, Seth Balch. And Balch, one of the better relievers on the Pilgrims this season, making his 5th appearance, is the junior out of Heartland, Vermont. Balch, a 2.35 ERA in 4 appearances. He's allowed 7 hits across 8 innings of work. Has allowed 4 runs, just 2 of them earned. A lot of velocity out of this one. Has only pitched 6 strikeouts. He's also issued 6 walks. So control here. This is a guy who's gotten out of some jams. Good numbers to show for it, but might be able to work him into some more trouble as you have runners on second and third and only 1 out. And so as Balch comes ready, You get to take a look at his numbers right there. Pardon me, one more strikeout than walk on the season, 7 Ks to 6 walks. But, that ERA, that's tough to ignore. And for a team, NEC, that just objectively doesn't pitch well as their opponents, the team ERA coming into action today of 7.34. This is a player that they've been able to lean on and just get some solid performances out of in relief. Now, he's got a tough task for him right here because the Beacons are leading 4-2 here in the bottom of the second inning. Runners on second and third, and there are 2 rather speedy runners in Luke Levitt and Breon Parker. Justin Gavea, Drew Metzdorf, Aiden Blake, that's 2, 3, 4 in your order. Those are the players that are due up, and just recapping here, Gavea with a single, Metzdorf with a double, and then Aiden Blake with a 2 RBI single in the bottom of the first inning. So his next 3 batters he's going to have to face are 3 of the best hitters, all seeing the ball very well right now. Here's Gavea, a chance with runners on second and third to continue his personally phenomenal week. Balch comes set and delivers the first pitch. You can see that one coming in very hot. Bit more velocity out of number 25 here. It misses low and away for ball 1. J.D. Norman doing the catching for the Pilgrims today. He's shown a rather innate ability of framing the pitches to keep them inside the strike zone. Did a good job going down low, not letting that one get past him. As you know, Luke Levitt will not need a second invitation to try and steal home. That one does paint the outside quarter. You got to think Gavea is going to want that one back, and the count is even at 1-1. Justin Gavea, with that hit, his average moves up to 320 on the season right now. This is a true freshman out of Dartmouth, Mass. Balch looks back towards Parker. Comes set. 1-1 pitch on the way. And that one just misses the outside quarter. Once again, you get another look right there at J.P. Norman and his propensity to just try and every pitch that skirts over that outside corner, just bring it back and frame it nicely. That one a bit too far. And so we'll do it again now with the count at 2-1. Gavea, a squared batting stance. He's right up against home plate. Those hands almost out over the plate. It's tough to beat him on the outside corner. That one comes in low, and it's pulled on the pitch. But once again, J.D. Norman, phenomenal job staying home, going low, blocking that one, and keeping it in front of him. And so Luke Levitt stays on third, but now Gavea. Gotta like the situation that he's worked for himself here. A beautiful hitter's count, 3-1. Parker, probably a modest lead by his standards at second. The 3-1 pitch coming from Balch. That one, well, they'll give it to him. It catches the outside corner, as far as the ump says, and the count goes full now to 3-2. Gavea, I thought he assumed he was on safely and just worked his 9th walk of the season. Instead, we'll do it again, this time with the count full. Let's see if Balch looks again at that outside corner. 3-2 pitch on the way. Just throws the bat out at it. How about that? And this one might get into the outfield. Parker wisely holds up at third. It's going to be another RBI another single for Justin Gavea. This time it brings a run across, and the Beacons stretch the lead out to 5-2. So Levitt does score on the play. He becomes the 3rd Beacon to score this inning. And now Drew Metzdorf, who laced a line drive double off the monster back in the 1st inning, and would later come around and score. He's the reigning LEC Player of the Week. Big opportunity here to put an exclamation point onto the score line early in this contest. Balch comes set. First pitch. Tried to paint the low and outside corner. The throw back to first, and Gavea took a big secondary lead. He got back in time, but he'll have to keep that back in mind that J.D. Norman ready to strike from the catcher spot. Gavea's back in safely. Metzdorf ahead in the count. 1-0. And kudos to Gavea. That was a 6-pitch at bat before he ultimately slapped that base hit. Both of the RBI hits here in the bottom of the second inning for the Beacons. Just nice job of patient hitting for Parker. He knew that fastball was coming away from him and just sent it right back where it came from. With Gavea, it seemed like maybe a late decision to just throw the bat out at it, and it worked out for him, going the other way. 1-0 pitch to Metzdorf, lines it down the line, and it's just foul called from the home plate umpire. Oh, had some people with better angles maybe to the right of us, and that one couldn't have been closer. We'll see if we have that one queued up here. But just, I mean, that's centimeters away from a 6-2 ball game, and with Metzdorf's speed, he might still be running. Instead, it evens the count back out at 1-1. Balch gets some new life here against Drew Metzdorf. Gets his sign. Norman, you can see, setting up on the outer half of the plate here. Balch's pitch. That breaking ball misses high. Running on the play is Gavea, and that is an easy stolen base for Gavea. 2 runners now in scoring position as Justin takes that one. That throw was kind of ceremonial at that point. Just his 3rd stolen base of the season. Ups his personal clip. He is now 3 of 5, 60% success rate. And 2 runners, 2 speedy runners at that, in scoring position right now for the all-LEC player, Drew Metzdorf. 2-1 pitch. That one's pulled from Balch. You can see working a little fast on the pitcher's mound is number 25. Can't find the strike zone again, and now Metzdorf, a big chance to stretch this lead out. Parker on third. He had an RBI double. Gavea on second. He had an RBI single. And now Drew Metzdorf on first after drawing the walk. So the base is loaded for the second time offensively. We'll take a look at that one from Metzdorf. As you can see the camera training down the line. Tough to tell. That's a great view right there. And from that camera view, I mean, what else can you say? It looked good. We'll take one more look at it here. Nice job from the camera. Well, yeah, Metzdorf robbed of the extra base hit, but he's on first happily with the walk. And now Aiden Blake, he had a 2 RBI single in the last inning. Gave the Beacons their 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Up now with the bases loaded. Big looping breaking ball from Balch, and that works out for Seth Balch. That fastball was not finding the strike zone. That off-speed pitch looped in very nicely. And now Blake going to have to be ready for a fastball after just seeing, a fastball from a pitcher with a decent amount of velocity after having just seen that big looping breaking ball. 0-1 on the way with the bases loaded. Another breaking ball. That one misses low, and we're even back up at 1-1. Worth noting, another phenomenal job from J.D. Norman getting low in time. That one probably wouldn't have got past him, but he sold out all the way to make sure it wouldn't. And it keeps the score for the minutes being at 5-2. Parker, he's been at third base quite some time right now. Got to think he wants to come across home here. 1-1 on the way from Seth Balch. Aiden Blake taking. He's now in front in the count, 2-1. Balch, we mentioned before he came onto the mound, issuing 6 walks on the season in just 7 innings of work. Pardon me, in 8 innings of work. And so there's an angle right there for the Beaks to just generate some more base runners and manufacture another run or 2. 2-1 pitch. On its way to Aiden Blake. That one catches the outside corner. Norman frames it nicely. And all of a sudden, Blake in a tough spot. It's 2-2. He took that first pitch curveball, worked it to 2-1, thought he had something with that outside fastball. It's called for a strike. And so now Blake maybe have to opt for the defensive swing. Let's see what he does. Seth Balch, the 2-2 pitch on the way, grounded to the shortstop. Flip play out at second. The turn, not in time. And the throw has to go back for Gavea, but Parker will score there on the fielder's choice from Aiden Blake. Philpott with the toss to Worth. Worth had a very nice turn on the play, but the throw not in time. And so Blake's speed will get him an RBI on the fielder's choice. Metzdorf out at second, but the Beacons now up 6-2. Craig Corliss batting for the Beaks. He grounded into a double play that brought the bottom of the first to an end. Don't want to see a similar fate here. That pitch, a breaking ball, misses low. Aiden Blake's going to take second on that play. And the throw back to third. It doesn't send Gavea off. So a 1-0 count for Craig Corliss. Craig, a .289 hitter on the season. Tied for the team lead in doubles with 10. 1-0 pitch from Balch is ripped to right center field. Giving chase, it's over the head of the right fielder Ryan Cote, and cruising on in to score is Aiden Blake. Cruising in for a double is Craig Corliss, and so he makes amends for that early double play, and the Beacons are up by 6. It is now 8-2. Gavea, Blake scoring. Corliss knocks in the 2 RBI double. You look at the top 5 of the Beacons order, they have combined 6 of 9 in today's contest, and the Beacons out in front early. It's 8-2. Zerilli, he led this inning off with a strikeout. He got called struck out, I believe technically, and we'll check on this. That's a strikeout looking because a ball hit him, and the umpire ruled his elbow was over home plate with 2 strikes. A chance to make amends as we're still in that same second inning right now. New pitcher on. This time he'll take a look at Seth Balch. Behind in the count, 0-1. Norman setting up outside. That breaking ball found a lot of the plate, but is really under it with the bat. He fouls it straight back, and Balch 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. It was a tough spot for him. Coming in with 2 runners on and 2 runs already across. Zerilli behind in the count, 0-2. Balch comes set, winds. The 0-2 pitch fouled straight back. Zerilli pops that one. Well, that was rifled back foul. Right off the top of the netting. And as it scurries behind the Beacons dugout, Zerilli earns himself another pitch. You saw that big looping breaking ball once so far in this at bat for Zerilli. Gianni, a very good fastball hitter. And let's see if Balch opts for the off-speed once again. The 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball. It misses low. Good eye there for Zerilli. And this tough second inning continues for Seth Balch as that is the 20th pitch thrown by the junior this inning. One and 2 on the way for Gianni Zerilli. Reaches out on this one and lifts it into the air. It's headed down towards the line. Right at the fence is the right fielder, Ryan Cote. He leaps, and it's just out of his reach. With that right field foul pole so close to home plate right there, the way that one was trending, it almost snuck near the pole. It does go out of play. A long run back to second for Craig Corliss. And it gives Gianni Zerilli some time to think this one through. He's seen 5 pitches now in this at-bat against Seth Balch. He fell behind 0-2. But maybe has a beat on him. Let's see what is to come with this 1-2 pitch. Runner on second. It's Craig Corliss. Balch delivers breaking ball. Misses high and inside, and the count evens back out at 2-2. Balch similarly, working against Luke Levitt, got in front 0-2. Subsequently pitched 4 straight balls, and Levitt getting on base with that walk was the real springboard to the crooked number that the Beaks have put up this inning. Zerilli, can he keep the fun going? 2-2 pitch coming from Balch, and it's on the way, and it's ripped into left field, and that'll drop in front of Dobry. The stop sign held up for Craig Corliss, not the most fleet of foot of the Beacons, but it keeps the inning going as runners on the corners right now. Another hit for the Beaks. It's the first of the afternoon for Zerilli. He's on with a single. Corliss over to third, and now it's Boston Burris. Boston got the first hit of this inning, ripping a double into the left center field gap. He did come around to score, and so the Beacons bat around and then some here in the bottom of the second, and it's Burris, the junior out of Highland Village, Texas, with a chance to put this game into quote-unquote runaway territory. Now, we're still in the second inning, but second bullpen pitcher into the 20s in his pitch count right now. The Beacons still in the meat of their order. Want to take advantage of this. The Beacons 17-10 on the season. Lost their last contest. Would love to see themselves right back into the win column. That loss yesterday. First conference loss in the LEC play for the Beaks this season. They were 7-0. First pitch into Burris. Misses low. Not even a chance for the throw as Zerilli very speedy in. And he is still perfect on the season. In terms of stolen bases, now a clean 8 of 8 for Gianni Zerilli Jr. Count is 1-0. Boston Burris now with 2 runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the second inning. Takes one that paints the outside quarter nicely for Seth Balch. He does himself a little favor there, evening it back out at 1-1. 1-1 the count. This will be the 28th pitch from Seth Balch, who came on in the middle of the inning. It's fouled straight back from Burris. But he wants that one back. But the count does move to 1-2, and this is the third different time Seth Balch has been 1 strike away from getting himself out of the inning. Can he do something about it right here? Runner on third is Corliss. Runner on second is Zerilli Jr. The 1-2 pitch coming. And that one misses low. So the Beacons showing that 2-strike patience. Count bumps up to 2-2. And Seth Balch now ready to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. Christopher Chagnon, 13 pitches in the first inning. 10 more before getting pulled. And so the Beacons tiring out this Pilgrims pitching staff in the early going here. 2-2 pitch on the way. That one's ripped right at the second baseman, Worth. He'll come set and get the out at first base. But 6 more runs across for the Beacons here in the bottom of the second inning. 11 batters coming across, and the Beacons up comfortably now as we head to the top of the third. Beacons 8, Pilgrims 2. More after this on the LEC Network and the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long...
All right, a lot to cover here. That's how we got the inning started, the bottom of the second inning. Gianni's really called for a strikeout as he leaned over the plate, but Boston Burris right behind him, lacing a double to deep left field, pushing the 379 mark. And that got the offense off and running. It was a walk out of Reed Burkett Schneider and a walk by Luke Levitt, and that led to this. Breon Parker roping one into the right center field gap. It was a 2-run double. That put the Beaks up 4-2. Justin Gavea right after that, slapping that one to make it 5-2. More to cover. We'll cover some more of those highlights as the inning progresses. But the Pilgrims turned their lineup back over, and Luca Gialongo, who swung at the first pitch, grounded out to Gianni Zerilli Jr. on a nice play made by Zerilli. He leads off the top of the third inning. Wow, look at that breaking ball from Josh Eastman. He drops down low and keeps that one tucked in the lower inside quarter. That was a rather weak swing there out of Gialongo. And Eastman cruising on through with his new delivery style. Gialongo just waving at that one as he misses. Just must be so much late movement on these pitches out of Josh Eastman. And he is quickly, already with 2 strikeouts on the day, vying for number 3. That one, another big looper. It just misses. Now, if you ask Josh, he'll tell you that he's throwing knuckleballs up there. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of true knuckle. There have been like 3 or 4 of them. But what he does have is just a locked-in slurve pitch right now. That one he tried to throw a knuckleball, and he got away from him a little bit right there. You can see Josh, doesn't look any worse for the wear, any more flustered on that one. Honestly, you have to think that Josh Eastman has to love what he's getting out of his right arm, knowing everything that it's been through in his baseball career, getting a start, which he doesn't normally get, and holding an 8-2 lead. into the top of the third inning. Giolongo offers that one, and actually that one was close to staying fair as Burris dives. It will roll foul, and the count will remain at 2-2. It was a tough first inning for Josh Eastman. It took him 21 pitches to get out of it. Just a 9-pitch second inning for Eastman, and he has Giolongo here in a 2-2 count, but already 5 pitches thrown in this at-bat. Can he put Luca Giolongo away right here? Yes, he does. Paints the outside corner. 3 strikeouts already. It's the second of the strikeout-looking variety. And Josh Eastman's stellar start, well, he allowed 2 runs in the first, but that was throwing pitches he hasn't thrown in a game before. Looks to be settling in a little bit as the 2-hole hitter, Brady Philpott, coming up, and 3 strikeouts on the afternoon for Eastman. The 0-0 pitch against Philpott to get him started misses inside. Philpott and Giolongo hit similar balls in the top of the first inning. Philpott's pushed Zerilli Jr. into the hole that much further, and he was able to beat the throw to first for an infield single. He scored one of the 2 runs in the first inning for NEC. He's over the top of that one, fouled it straight back, and that one might have caught contact with the umpire. Corliss doesn't seem too concerned. Normally the catcher, when you want to sweeten up the umpire a little bit, you give him some extra time there. We're right back at it with a 1-1 pitch coming in, and that one looked to be offered at. Yes, it was. So that one out off the outside corner, but Philpott couldn't keep the bat on his shoulders. He offers at it, and Eastman out in front of him, 1-2. Can he get his 4th strikeout of the afternoon? Did he offer? Let's see. Yes, he did. He certainly did. And you think Philpott, he probably knew that he went around on that one. It was just ceremonial. But it's lovely to see the umpire put that fist up. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts here in the top of the third inning. And Josh Eastman, all of a sudden, cruising here in the top of the third. He is retired 6 batters in a row. This one, a short humpback line drive. It's fielded deep in the hole. The throw to first, not in time. Aiden Blake almost with a web gem to remember, but instead you gotta love the hustle. Out of that was Kyle Dobry, the left fielder, and so he beats it out. That's the second infield single hit by the Pilgrims today, and it sets the table again for Sylvain Audette. Similar situation that Audette saw in his at-bat in the first inning. He came on with a runner on first. He drew a walk, and that led to 2 runs thanks to the batter after him, J.D. Norman. So Audette, big, powerful frame in the left-handed batter's box. Has a runner on first. It's the left fielder, Kyle Dobry, and he takes the pitch outside for a ball to get his afternoon started. Mentioned Audette making just his 2nd start of the season. This is just his 6th at-bat of the year. He's walked in 2 of his 5 prior at-bats on the season. Takes a big hack at that one. He's out in front of it. And count is even at 1-1. Eastman setting up on the far third base side of the pitcher's mound. So these lefties are seeing the ball kind of come across his delivery and into them. He misses that one. He leaves it on the outside corner there. But Audet, in the 3 pitches he's seen, they've all come out of 3 completely separate arm slots from Eastman. Josh taking his time now with a runner on first. Waits to get a sign from Craig Corliss. Corliss sets up inside. Eastman, that was a beautiful breaking ball, and it just saws off the hands of Sylvain Audet. That one's all the way out across the lacrosse field at this point. And so Eastman, once again, a chance to get out of this inning. Beacons holding an 8-2 lead. 2-2 the count to Sylvain Audet. The Springfield, Mass resident, waiting for Eastman's pitch. He comes set, and that one misses just low. I think Audet still frozen in the box. He was worried that the umpire might have rung him up looking. Eastman got close, but the count goes full. In the top of the third inning. Moving a little bit slower for Josh Eastman here as he spoils that one, misses it wide. And that's the 2nd walk given up by Josh. Must have given him that kiss of death here as Josh, 2 separate times now, he was 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Instead, he's up to 46 pitches now on the afternoon. 2 runners on. It's Dobry at second, Audet at first, and Eastman pulled that one a bit too much against J.D. Norman. Norman hit an RBI single over the head of second baseman Aiden Blake And then Blake made a subsequent fielding error after the ball dropped, which led to a second run getting scored. This one is lifted and driven to deep right field. Going back is Gavea. He gets turned. It's over his head, and it's off the top of the wall. And Eastman went from a strike away from getting out of the inning to this being a ball game again, as 2 runs are going to score. On day coming in standing, Dobry already scores, and the Pilgrims making this a contest again. It's 8-4. That's a 2 RBI double for Normand. It's been balls put in play by Normand that have led to all 4 Pilgrims runs. He has 3 RBI on the day, and now big first baseman Brett Patnode in the left-handed batter's box as the Pilgrims were able to mount a little 2-out rally of their own. Big swing on the first pitch. This is lofted down the left field line, and it's caught. Running in is Luke Levitt. He has to drop down to a slide, but he corrals it nicely, and the Beacons do get out of any further trouble. Eastman almost spins another gem. He allows 2, but the Beacons still holding a 2-run lead. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Beacons 8, Pilgrims 4. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us.
We'll take a look at the play that got us out of the top of the third inning. Eastman in some trouble, and that one was in a dangerous spot. It would have gone foul, but Luke Levitt, the junior out of Manchester, Massachusetts, on his giddy-up, got to it, dives out, and makes the play. And so that brings us to the bottom of the third inning. Reed Burkett Schneider getting it started here. He walked and scored his first time up, and that one off the end of the bat over the head of the third baseman and in for a base hit for Burkett Schneider. And for Reed, that is his first hit of the 2023 season. And so a very productive at bat in the second inning. He comes across and scores, and now gets the third inning started with a base hit in the left field. Seth Balch, 31 pitches now, and 4 hits surrendered. All but one of those runs ultimately charged against Christopher Chagnon as he came off with the bases loaded. So just one of these runs, the responsibility of Seth Balch, but you got to think this is a tired pitcher on the bump for the Pilgrims right now, as he's already at his 32nd pitch of the contest. And this is one of the more stellar bullpen arms that NEC offers in their rotation. First pitch right down the middle, swinging and missing, is the left fielder Luke Levitt. Just saw Luke Levitt make a lovely little web gem to get us out of the top of the third inning. That throw over, not in time against Burkett Schneider. Burkett Schneider yet to attempt a steal. This is only his third time as a base runner this season. And we'll see if the Austin, Texas resident has some jump in his step. That's a wild pitch, or pardon me. It gets blocked by Normand, but it'll be an easy take for Reed Burkett Schneider. going through the process here, folks. That might have been the first career stolen base that we have for Burkett Schneider. So we'll get to that when the time comes. But he is in scoring position right now in a 1-1 count for Luke Levitt. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner for Balch. It's funny with Seth Balch. This is an up and down outing for him, to say the least. And it's just goes pitch by pitch. One pitch, it looks like he's nowhere near the strike zone. And then the next pitch, he is just right back painting a corner. You got to hand it to the mental fortitude here out of number 25, battling against these beacons this afternoon. 1-2 pitch on its way to Luke Levitt. A breaking ball. Luke's out in front of it, and that will be the second strikeout against the Beaks this afternoon. And the first strikeout for Seth Balch. So Levitt goes down swinging for Luke. That's his 5th strikeout in the box on the season. And Breon Parker, hot hitter who is continuing his stellar freshman campaign. Last time up, he had a 2 RBI double into the right center field gap and came around to score. He has Reed Burkett Schneider on second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Balch paints the bottom outside corner beautifully. You could see Parker, he was ready to swing first pitch. He thought that one was going to miss outside. No, another nice job painting the corner here for Seth Balch. Got to keep it away from the meat of the plate with a hitter like Parker. Parker lined out on the first pitch of the game to left field, then went to right center for the double. Let's see if maybe he tests the center fielder Luca Giolongo here. Holds it back as that one does get away from Norman. Burkett Schneider out in front of the wild pitch, and he will take third base. So Reed Burkett Schneider doing a heck of a job manufacturing runners into scoring position on his own accord right there. 2 wild pitches bounced in front of Normand. And both times Burkett Schneider wasting no time claiming the base. So here's the 1-1 pitch to Breon Parker. Burkett Schneider dancing, taking a long secondary lead. Oh, that one got in on the hands, and Parker gets jammed. Count moves to 1-2. Breon taking a big, rather long swing on that one. If he could have shortened it up, might have gotten a bit more barrel on it. But that one's coming in hot from Seth Balch. He is a pitcher with some velocity to him. Maybe in position here to let one of those big looping breaking balls go. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Parker, and he got him. No, pardon me. They asked the umpire on the play if Parker offered. It's a tough angle. It's always hard to tell if a player offers or not. From where we are directly behind home, I thought he went. We'll take it. The count moves to 2-2 right now as Balch up to his 40th pitch of the contest. And remember, he came in the middle of the top of the 2nd inning. 2-2 pitch on the way to Parker. It's lifted to center field. It might split the outfielders. It does. It drops in front of the right fielder, Ryan Cote. And coming in to score is Reed Burkett Schneider. And so Burkett Schneider got the inning started with a single. That's a blooper. It's the weakest hit ball by quite a bit for Breon Parker, but it's his 2nd RBI hit of the contest. An RBI single, his 3rd RBI of the night. And the Beacons leading now 9-4. Justin Gavea follows up his first collegiate home run last night. Already 2 hits, an RBI, and 2 runs scored to his name in this contest. So Parker with the RBI single. He now has 3 RBI on the afternoon. He's at first. Gavea 2 for 2 on the afternoon with an average sitting probably around 330, doing some mental math right now. He came into the contest batting .315, 2 for 2 on top of that. .25 hits and 75 at bats, so .333 the average right now for Justin Gavea. Count at 1-0. Balch needs to be careful where he delivers this one. The dynamic freshman duo to lead off the top of the order. Parker going. Throw down from Norman. It's late. It's a stolen base for Breon Parker. And just like that, the rich get richer. The Beacons already with a 5-run lead and another runner in scoring position as Parker chilling out there on second base. He slid head first. He beat that one well. It was a nice pop time out of J.D. Normand. But it was on a breaking ball. Well read from Parker. So the throw missing late. 2-0 pitch, that one misses low, and so all of a sudden, Gavea sitting pretty with a 3-0 count right now. For Breon Parker, that is his 7th stolen base. He's now stolen 7 in 9 attempts. Beacon's 58 stolen bases as a team now on the season. This one high, and Normand, luckily, he saw it after it tipped off the top of his glove. A lot of times when the ball gets behind the catcher like that, you can see it get through and maybe an extra base taken. It will be a walk issued by Balch, but Parker staying at second. And now Drew Metzdorf on with a chance to do some more damage. Beacon's leading 9-4. Metzdorf hit a double off the monster in the first inning and then walked in the second. 1 run scored on the afternoon for Metzdorf. First pitch of the at-bat missing low for Seth Balch. And I'm not sure if the game plan was maybe have Seth Balch come out here, be a long reliever, see if he can eat up some of these middle innings. I don't think that's going to be the end story for Seth Balch right now, as he bounces that one into the dirt. This is his 46th pitch coming of the afternoon already. We're still here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The 1-0 on the way to Metzdorf. Drew really wanted to swing at that one. Home plate umpire says he did offer. Either that or he's just calling it a strike. Tough pitch to take right there if you're Drew Metzdorf, and the count evens back out at 1-1. Metzdorf, one of 6 Beacons to have started every game they have played in on the season. Just 7th in total RBIs, but yet leading the team now with 35 hits. That one bounced in. It gets past Normand. Parker's going to take third. Gavea is going to take second, and that is the 3rd wild pitch of the outing charged against Seth Balch. And it just makes it that much tougher right now for the Pilgrims. They did a nice job answering in the top of the 3rd, making it an 8-4 ball game. But you look up right now, and it's 2 runners back in scoring position, and really one of the most dangerous hitters in the LEC, in Division III baseball, at the plate, and a bit of a hitter's count right now at 2-1. Balch going to need to come up with something here to keep the scoreline where it is. 2-1 pitch. That one catches the outside corner. You got to think if you're the home plate umpire, right? It's been a tough go of it for Mr. Balch, and so when you see a ball in a 2-1 count that close, you got to figure if you're Drew Metzdorf, you're going to be getting some of those calls against you in those gray area pitches. Metzdorf can recover better than the rest, so let's see what he does. That 2-2 pitch, he's out in front of it, lines it. It's snared by the third baseman. Parsons, the throw. It's draws Patnode off the bag. I thought Brett Patnode did a phenomenal job in getting the out. Instead, the throw draws him off the bag, and so that will be, depending on the official scoring decision, either an RBI single or an RBI error. But as it is, the score now 10-4 as Parker comes in to score. For the time being, runner going on the first pitch, it misses inside. No throw down as the bag taken easily by Metzdorf. So it's going to be a throwing error on that play. Run comes across, makes it 10-4. Yeah, it was snagged cleanly by Devin Parsons. He had a long throw to go, but he would have had the runner Metzdorf. So Drew reaches on an error. Parker scores on said error. Metzdorf steals second, and now once again, right back to where we were in the last at-bat. 2 runners in scoring position and a 1-0 count. And that one, big swing. Blake swinging out of his shoes right there. Pops it up foul, and it will go out of play in the direction of one of our one of the carts that we have over there. Count now at 1-1 for Aiden Blake. Blake swings on the 1-1 pitch, lifts it to deep right field. It's drawing Cote back. It's carrying. It's over his head off the base of the wall. Gavea scores. Coming around is Metzdorf, and that's going to be an RBI, a 2 RBI triple for Aiden Blake deep to right center field. It looked like Cote had a beat on it, and then all of a sudden you could see the flags are blowing out to right. That ball was over his head, and then the only question was, does it sneak over the wall or not? Another hit for the Beacons, another 2 RBI hit for Aiden Blake. He now has 4 RBI on the contest and stretches his team high to 32 runs batted in on the season. Looks like we have a pitching change coming for the Pilgrims, so we'll take a break here. Still the bottom of the 3rd inning. Beacons leading 12-4.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Hopping back in here as we take a look at what got us to this point in the top of the 3rd inning. And it's a rough outing for Seth Balch. His line has gone final. We'll share it with you in a second. That bloop job kept the inning going. This was the play that the Pilgrims would be in a much different spot right here. That throw from Parsons, it would have gotten Metzdorf. The throw pulls him off the bag, and that then opened it up for Aiden Blake. Lifts that one deep to right over the head of the right fielder, Cote. Bringing in 2 more. 4 runs batted in now for Aiden Blake. And now Craig Corliss with a 2 RBI double to his own right. Back into the batter's box. And we'll get our first look at Nolan Stoney. It's his 5th appearance. Coming in with a 6.75 ERA. He is the lone left-handed pitcher on the roster for the NEC College Pilgrims. And he starts looping a breaking ball into Craig Corliss and missing inside. Corliss 1 of 2 on the afternoon. A hit right here would bring him to a solid, clean 300 on the season. Count is 1-0. Stoney's pitch lifted over our heads and out of play, and the count back even at 1-1. This offensive output, lovely to see if you're the Beacons. 200 runs scored on the season. Very successful offensive team in their 17 games played. Already 12 here on 11 hits in less than 3 full innings. 1-1 pitch, and that one misses low from Stoney, bringing the count to 2-1. Craig Corliss, 1 home run this season. Hit 6 home runs on the campaign last year. Wind is blowing out, left-handed pitcher. Got to think Craig might have a big swing in him in this at-bat. That's a looping breaking ball that just nips the outside corner, and it evens us back at 2-2. You can see the wind picking up against the jersey of Nolan Stoney as he comes set. And the 2-2 pitch. That one misses wide. He sees something he likes in that off-speed pitch, starting way outside to these right-handed batters and just trying to train it back over the outside corner. But now if you're Corliss, you've seen that a couple of times. You might be able to sit on it here. Count is full. Runner at third is Aiden Blake. And the 3-2 pitch. Lifted. It chases Bryce Worth back, still going back. That one's up in the wind. Worth reaches up, makes the catch, and Blake thought about it, and that wow, it's overthrown. If Aiden Blake just would have went for it, this would be a 13-4 game. Instead, the throw, in spite of getting over the catcher, J.D. Norman and Nolan Stoney. How about that? I take all that back, count the run, because the ball was thrown technically out of play. Thrown off the catcher, off the netting, the ball goes out of play, and that does make it a 13-4 game. So 2 outs against the Beacons on the inning, but the throwing error does lead to another run scored, and that will be the second unearned run in the contest surrendered by NEC. And we are now 13-11, the score. 13-11? 13-4, pardon me. 11 of the 13 Beacons runs earned at this point in the contest. Gianni Zerilli Jr. up and taking the first pitch inside for a ball. Zerilli, 1 of 2 on the contest. Every Beacon in the starting lineup has got a hit except for Luke Levitt, but he has drawn a walk for himself in this game. That one misses inside, and the count up to 2-0. Zerilli, he struck out in his first at-bat, peculiar at-bat. He fell behind 0-2. He fouled 3 straight pitches off, and then he took an off-speed pitch off the elbow, but the umpire deemed his elbow was over home plate, and so he got called for a strikeout looking. One of just 2 strikeouts hit at bat for the Beacons this afternoon. That one misses inside, and it gets past Norman. No runners on, but it moves the count to 3-0 for Zerilli. Gianni, such a dangerous hitter. If you're Nolan Stoney, you know that 2 of the next 3 batters in the Beacons lineup are left-handed. So obviously, treating Zerilli Jr. with kid gloves right there as he just throws that one outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Gianni Zerilli Jr. Beacons have showed a good patient eye at the plate. That is now their 5th walk drawn on the afternoon. And Boston Burris, the 7-hole hitter, already up for his 3rd at-bat of the contest. Folks, remember, we're still in inning number 3. That one's turned on, lifted deep down the left field line, and it's going to go foul. Burris, the switch hitter, batting right-handed. He got a good jump on that one from Nolan Stoney. Boston just 1 extra base hit, now 2, after the double that he hit earlier in this contest. But player with 16 hits on the season. Bulk of them going for singles, but maybe a bit more of a powerful swing for Boston from the right-handed side of the plate. Zerilli on at first. Burris grounds that one into the Pilgrims' dugout, and so he's quickly behind 0-2. Nolan Stoney, if nothing else, unlike Seth Balch, he's been around the strike zone. Stoney in position. Much like Josh Eastman, although Josh Eastman was a right-hander, he's working on the extreme third base side of the pitcher's mound. And so if you're a right-handed hitter, it looks like that ball is kind of starting where you are. The one thing is you get that little extra millisecond of it coming from the left side. Now let's see if Burris has an eye for what Nolan Stoney is throwing here. 1-2 pitch on the way. Reaches out, grounds it to the third baseman, Parsons. He gets a chance at redemption. Throws it across the diamond, and once again, I believe it'll go against Devin Parsons as a throwing error. Twice now, he has had a chance to get the Pilgrims out of the bottom of the 3rd inning, and twice his throws have drawn Brett Patnode off the bag. You hate to see it happen twice, but that's 2 against Devin Parsons. And the inning continues. For the player of the game up to this point, Reed Burkett Schneider. Walked and scored in the first, singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He led off this inning with a single, came around to score. He's back up right now after his first hit of the season. Let's see if he can get himself his first multi-hit game of the season. That one looped inside, misses, and Norman heading up for a little bit of a chat with Nolan Stoney. 2 runs for the Beacons in the bottom of the first. 6 in the bottom of the second. 5 more here in the bottom of the third. And Burkett Schneider with a chance to blow it open even further. 1-0 pitch on the way to Reed Burkett Schneider. Soft ground ball. Coming up is Bryce Worth. Gets it, and he gets it over to first base in time to get us out of the bottom of the third inning. But 5 more runs across, and the Beacons with a 9-run lead as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Beacons 13, Pilgrims 4. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the
Hopping back in here, as you can see, that was a fly out, a pop out from Craig Corliss, but then the throw goes over the head of the catcher J.D. Norman and subsequently out of play. And so that was rather, I guess, the cheapest run scored by the Beacons in at the bottom of the third inning as they push across 5 more. And they do it on just 3 hits. It was 2 errors committed by third baseman Devin Parsons that led to the inning extending twice, and each time it led to another run for the Beaks. So 2 errors committed by NEC in that bottom of the third inning. And now we are on to the top of the 4th. It's second baseman Bryce Worth getting us started. He struck out looking against Josh Eastman back in the second inning, but he greets him here with a line drive into right field. Gavea coming up, throwing, and some contact made right there. Believe everybody's going to be okay. No interference of any kind on that play. Is Worth going to feel that one a little bit at first base. He's on safely with a slap single into right field. Gavea doing the right thing, trying to get the out at first. He drew his first baseman, Burris, off the bag. Going to make sure that Boston is okay in his own right. Everybody's good. And so Ryan Cote, the right fielder, he's on with a runner on first in the form of Bryce Worth. That hit for Bryce Worth is his 12th of the season. It bumps his average up to a clean .250 on the year. Beautiful breaking ball to get the at-bats started against Cote for Eastman. He drops that one into the well and just paints the inside corner. Count is 0-1. That one missing high. Count is back even at 1-1. Josh Eastman didn't know what to expect coming into this outing, knowing that he was going to get the midweek start. First start of the season. Few starts in his career. And now, as that one swung and fouled back from Cote, Eastman into the 4th inning of work. He has allowed 4 runs across his first 3 innings, but only across 4 hits. Had an error to thank for the 4th run coming across for the Pilgrims. And so you got to think Eastman savoring the minutes that he has on the mound in his final season of collegiate baseball. And gets this one lifted up into the air. Gavea, a couple of steps to his left. Now he shades back a step under it and squeezes it for the first out of the inning. And so now if you're Josh Eastman, you've tallied wins in your career, but a starting win in your final season of baseball, you want to take that one with you. And so now the goal here, as we're all following along, is can Josh get through this outing, getting 5 more outs here? You got to go 5 to be eligible for that starting win. And so that's definitely in Josh's mind right now. Nice job to settle back in and get the fly out against Cote for the first out of the inning. And now it's Devin Parsons, and he big swing on that one right to Justin Gavea. Barely has to move, and he squeezes it for out number 2. Eastman, easy going right there if you're putting the ball right over the middle of the plate and getting flyouts. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Eastman up to 55 pitches on the evening right now, but remember, it took him 21 to get out of the first inning, so really settling down as this game has progressed. That being said, the Pilgrims now flipping the order. It's Luca Gialongo up for the 3rd time this afternoon. Big swing as he's fooled by that beautiful Eastman breaking ball, and he's behind in the count 0-1. He grounded out on the first pitch of the at-bat his first time up, then he struck out looking his most recent time up. Eastman has thrown 4 strikeouts already. Count is 1-1 now to Luca Gialongo. Luca, a senior out of Mount Shasta, California, went to St. John's Collegiate High School up in the Bay Area, and has been a consistent contributor for the Pilgrims this season. 2nd on the team in at-bats, tied for the team lead in hits, 2nd on the team in RBIs, 2nd on the team in slugging. He fouls that one straight back. Aside from all the hitting accolades, also a very adept base runner. 6 of 6 in his stolen bases on the season. So a big senior contributor here. Behind 1-2 in the count to Eastman. Almost offered at that one as Josh has these hitters selling out for these outside breaking pitches. Gialongo was able to keep the bat on his shoulder, but another chance for Eastman to move quickly through the Pilgrims lineup. Gialongo stayed home on that one, was able to foul it straight back. Even though these are clearly off-speed pitches from the Josh Eastman that we know, looks like they're still getting in on these Pilgrim batters kind of hot. Gialongo was a little late on that one. Is it going to be another big breaking ball, or maybe Eastman can find a fastball in the well? 2-2 pitch. It is a fastball, and it just misses low, and the count goes to 3-2. You know Gialongo wasn't ready for it. He stared at it, and it just misses low. Runner on first is Bryce Worth. The Pilgrims have 4 runs on 5 hits now in this contest. They've left 2 runners on base. Full count pitch. Grounded softly and into the Pilgrims' dugout, so we'll do it again. He's been taking his time on the mound. Now he gets his sign. Comes set from the stretch, the 3-2 pitch. Grounded to Zerilli. Looks at second, going to throw to first. That's a fast runner, and he throws it in time for out number 3. And it's 4 batters, 3 outs in the top of the 4th for Josh Eastman. The Beacons hold that 9-run lead, and now Eastman 3 outs away from decision territory. We'll head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Beacons up 9. It's Beacons 13, Pilgrims 4.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
We rejoin the action here. It's the bottom of the fourth inning. Luke Levitt against Nolan Stoney. Lefty on lefty matchup to get us started. Beacons up comfortably right now, 13-4. Of the 9 players batting in the starting lineup for the Beaks, Levitt, the only one yet to record a hit. He has drawn a walk and struck out in his 2 at-bats. Reed Burkett Schneider, 1 hit. Burris, Zerilli, and Corliss, and Metzdorf all with 1. Blake, Parker, and Gavea with 2 hits apiece. Aiden Blake with 5 RBI already today, and Breon Parker already with 3. That pitch catching the outside corner against Luke Levitt. He does not like the call and doesn't do that good of a job hiding his emotions on it as he reaches up to the batting helmet as the count evens back out at 1-1. You could see Levitt had a tough go of it. He was called on an inside strike in his last at-bat before ultimately striking out swinging. So Luke maybe not the biggest fan of the strike zone this afternoon. That one not close to any strike zone. It's bounced on in, and the count up to 2-1 for the junior out of Manchester, Massachusetts. Luke getting his 20th game of action this season, making his 9th start. This is his 41st at-bat. A bit of a cool-off from his super hot sophomore season, which he came on towards the latter end of the season. Even saw himself getting an LEC Offensive Player of the Week last season. Back down to reality a little bit for the left-handed batter. But right now, showing a good eye in the batter's box here, and a linchpin, a great hitter to throw down in that 9 spot and flip the order off of. Against the lefty, here's the 3-1 pitch. Misses low, and so for the second time today, Luke Levitt has drawn a walk, and the Beacons get another inning started with a base runner here. Enjoying themselves out here in Moden Park this afternoon. Breon Parker, 3 at-bats, 3 RBIs, 2 of them 2 hits. He laced a double into the right center field gap in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and then it was a bloop single that scored a run later on in the 3rd inning. So that's 3 RBIs in the 3rd inning alone. A wild pitch gets through Norman. That's happened 4 times now against the catcher, J.D. Normand. And it'll send coach up to the box for a mound visit. J.D. Normand, a junior out of Auburn, New Hampshire. Giant player, physically, standing at 6'2", a huge backstop back there, and has looked great. Has been tested quite a bit. Unfortunately, there was the play where he backed up the throw in from the second baseman. It went over his head. That allowed a run to be scored. And now 4 wild pitches, and you can only ask so much out of a talented catcher like that. Levitt standing on second base in scoring position. Yet to have a strike thrown out of Stoney here. And so everything coming up Beacons right now at Moden Park. Stoney finishes his mound visit. Let's see the first pitch into Parker. Opts for a breaking ball and just catches the outside corner to even the count back at 1-1. Stoney's recorded 2 outs so far in this contest. He's already thrown 24 pitches. That's the 25th, and it's fouled into the dirt and into the fence past the third base bag. Count up to 1-2. Parker has struck out his fair share in this freshman season. 27 strikeouts against him so far. He's got the lefty. Let's see what he does with this 1-2 pitch. Comes set. Pitches in. That misses low and inside. Norman once again has to drop down to stop it. Keeps it in front. Levitt stays at second. The count stays at 2-2. Stoney waiting for the sign from Norman, with Luke Levitt dancing, but not that far off the bag at second. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Didn't even get a piece of it. That's a beautiful off-speed pitch from Stoney. It's his first strikeout. For Parker, it's his first strikeout of the afternoon. He's now 2 for 4 on the contest. It'll bring up a player who is yet to be retired and riding a bit of a hot streak, Justin Gavea. 3 for 3 on the afternoon. All 3 of them singles. He has an RBI and has scored all 3 times he's reached base. That one got between the legs of Norman. He's able to keep it underneath him and not behind him, and so that keeps Luke Levitt on. You have to think, if it's any other player on this Pilgrims roster catching right now, Levitt might have already scored at this point, but Norman doing a nice job there, keeping these low balls in front of him. Count setting up nicely for Gavea now, 1-0. His prior 3 at-bats have been against righties. Not all that many splits on him as a lefty-on-lefty hitter in this his freshman season. Hangs in there, and he got out in front of that one before beating it foul. And evening the count back out at 1-1. Gavea, I mentioned before, he's a Dartmouth, Massachusetts resident. Played his high school baseball at Bishop Stang. Comfortably in the box here. 1-1 count. Levitt's going, but it doesn't matter because that one hits Gavea. So perfect day continues. He's still 3 for 3. Now he's on again with a hit by pitch. No hits yet this inning for the Beacons, but 2 on and just 1 out. And it brings up the reigning LEC Offensive Player of the Week, Drew Metzdorf. Drew, a D1 transfer out of UMass Amherst. Burlington, Mass. is his hometown. Over 1,000 OPS on the season right now. In fact, 1090 entering action today for Drew Metzdorf. Maybe over 11 at this point. First pitch of the at-bat, first pitch swinging, and he hits that ball 100 feet into the air. It's in foul territory. Parsons underneath it, and he corrals it in foul territory for out number 2. Big first pitch swinging from Metzdorf, an even bigger pop out. And it's 2 out quickly. Mr. RBI, though, in the batter's box for the Beacons, Aiden Blake. Aiden 2 for 3 on the contest, but even the one time he got out, he still got himself an RBI. And a 2 RBI single in the first, an RBI fielder's choice in the third, and later on in the third, a 2 RBI triple. He's up now with Levitt and Gavea on, and 2 outs. That pitch missing inside and stolen base for Luke Levitt. He wanted one, now he gets one as he takes third on that breaking ball. Gavea also takes second. And just like that, it's not 1 but 2 runners in scoring position. Beacons have yet to score here in the 4th inning. They've scored in all 3 prior. Blake reaching out, puts the bat on the ball. The wind's going to take this a little bit, sends Cote back. Now he has to go back to his right a step, but he puts the squeeze on it. And for the first time, the Pilgrims were able to get out of trouble without a run allowed. So kudos to Nolan Stoney. He turns it over. We head to the top of the 5th inning. The score remains 13-4. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had, and you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, And that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
All right, welcome back to Monin Park. We head to the top of the fifth inning. The Beacons up comfortably over the NEC Pilgrims, 13-4. Josh Eastman's day is complete. Solid outing for Josh. He goes 4 innings, allowing 4 runs and 5 hits. If this game ends up going 7, which who knows with where it's at this point, if it only goes 7, that would be enough to qualify Eastman for a win. As it is, we get to take a look at number 29, Tim Ciancolo, on the mound for the Beaks to get us started in this top of the 5th inning. And he gets us started with a strike, piping it in against the shortstop, Brady Philpott. Another one quickly across the outside corner. And a nice start for Ciancolo here. 0-2 pitch as Timmy C working very quickly, pulls that one outside and brings the count to 1-2 for Brady Philpott. Philpott playing in his 20th game on the season. Big swing on that one. He fouls it over the netting and into the parking garage. A .291 hitter coming into action with 16 hits on the year. 1-2 pitch coming from Ciancolo. It's a breaking ball, and it just misses the outside corner. Evens the count back out at 2-2. Ciancolo working very quickly. 2-2 pitch coming, and that one's jumped on by Philpott. It's going to go to the left of Parker. He fields it cleanly, taking 2 steps to his left, gets the ball back in time, and so that will hold Philpott at first with a single. Kyle Dobry, the left fielder, 1 for 2 on the day. He will be next up here. Slight delay in the action. We're back at it here at Monin Park. Ciancolo gets the sign from Corliss, comes set. It's going to be Philpott on first. Big swing out of Kyle Dobry. He's under it. Misses the first pitch and gets this count started at 0-1. 0-1 pitch in, missing high, evens it back out at 1-1. Ciancolo making his 9th appearance of the season for Tim. It's his first non-start, a 7.8 ERA coming into action today, 2 wins, 3 losses on the season. That one just missing inside on Dobry, and the count moves to 2-1. Ciancolo working quickly, 2-1 pitch in, fouled straight back towards us from Dobry here as it hits off the netting. And a 2-strike count here for Ciancolo against Dobry. First chance of the putout for the afternoon. So Eastman's line, it's official. In 4 innings, he throws 63 pitches, allows 5 hits, surrenders 4 runs, 3 of them earned, walks 2, and strikes out 4. Dobry late on that one, but he gets the bat to it, fouling it straight back and keeping his count alive. As far as average goes, Kyle Dobry, the best hitter on the season for the NEC Pilgrims. 15 hits, 5 of them extra base hits. Cianciolo gets the signed 2-2 pitch. It's grounded weakly down the first base line. Burris giving chase, but that one's well foul, so we'll do it again. Dobry got himself a 2-out single back in the top of the third inning and ultimately scored after Sylvain Audet drew a walk, and then J.D. Norman hit a big 2 RBI double. Let's see, that one came inside. Was it offered at? No, he was able to keep the bat on the shoulder, was Kyle Dobry. It's now the left-handed hitter out in left field, works the count full. Cianciolo already his 7th pitch of the inning. Big looping breaking ball, and it catches the outside corner. Dobry thought that he was on with a walk. Instead, it just nicks the outside corner. Love to see it for Cianciolo coming in and getting that breaking ball dialed right in. So he allows the leadoff single, but answers right back with a strikeout looking of Kyle Dobry. And for Dobry, he's now 1 for 3 on the day. Those 2 at-bats without hits, he struck out. First swinging, now looking. Now it's Sylvain Audet. Hasn't technically registered an AB yet in this contest. He's walked twice. He's scored off both of those walks. 2 runs, productive day for big number 35. Big swing. He misses that one late off the outside corner, and the count back even at 1-1. One pitch, missing low and inside. So Audet, a big imposing figure in that batter's box, but also showing how dangerous a patient eye can be at the plate as well. 2 runs scored off the 2 walks that he's generated, and now in a hitter-friendly count at 2-1. Big swing, and that one right by him from Cianciolo. Reached back a little bit extra. And he gets that one with a fastball right by Audet. So he evens the count out at 2-2. Timothy hunting for the strikeout here. That one just misses high and away. And so the count goes full once again. Audet proving his worth at the plate, being patient. A chance to make it 3 at-bats, 3 walks here. Timmy C looking for his 24th strikeout of the season. And no, that one could have just been a pitch out, all things considered. Misses well wide. Audet, 3 at-bats, 3 walks for Sylvain. And if it holds to pattern, he's going to come around and score here. Baseball, a game of patterns. Let's see what happens. J.D. Norman having himself a whale of an afternoon from the plate. 2 for 2, an RBI single, a 2nd run scored on that play, and then in the 3rd inning, a 2 RBI double. He's been part of all 4 runs being scored for the Pilgrims today, and he takes this ball outside, off the outside corner, starting off his count at 1-0. Cianciolo already 21 pitches thrown this inning, and that one's turned on and kind of popped up towards Luke Levitt. Settling under it about 15 feet in front of the warning track, and he puts the squeeze on it for out number 2. That's the first, I don't even want to call it a weak swing, but that's the first bit of weak contact that we've seen out of J.D. Norman, and he's still lifted at about 310 feet towards the warning track in left field. Levitt, nice job. As you can see there, just coasting under it. And there you go, he put it away cleanly. And so 2 on, but 2 out now as Cianciolo tries to get through this bottom of the 5th inning unscathed. Brett Patnode in, and that breaking ball handcuffs him a little bit. Staring at that and missing. Staring at that for strike 1. Cianciolo delivering again. That one right down the middle. Patnode once again a bit too late on it, and quickly 0-2. And so an inning that didn't start out that great for Timothy Cianciolo after Brady Philbot singled on the first pitch he saw. Can get out of trouble very quickly here. That one lined, and it gets past Drew Metzdorf. Being waved around, no stop sign gets thrown up at the last second for Brady Philpott, and the bases remain loaded. All the Pilgrims can do is go station to station there, as once again, it's Levitt on it quickly. Metzdorf, you saw there, he puts the dive on it, couldn't quite corral it. Metzdorf got to it in time, or pardon me, Levitt got to it in time to keep it in, and so the bases stay loaded. Not what you wanted to see if you're Cianciolo, but nothing across yet. Bryce Worth, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. He did single his last time up, takes a big called strike on the outside corner to make it 0-1. Cianciolo up to his 27th pitch already of the inning, and he misses that one well inside it. Skirts Bryce Worth out of the batter's box even. And it brings us back even to 1-1. The Beacons, they wanted a put-away inning. They can still get out of this inning with a hold, but it would have taken a lot for it to get there. This one pushes Burris towards the dugout, but he's able to stay in play and put the squeeze on it. Cianciolo, he's tested. The Pilgrims load the bases, but the Beacons get out of trouble with no runs allowed. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Beacons 13, Pilgrims 4.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons.
It's the bottom of the 5th inning here at Monin Park, and the Beacons holding a 13-4 lead. The Beacons coming into action at 17-10 on the season for the NEC Pilgrims, a 9-17 record as we hit play here at Monin Park. Nolan Stoney entering his 3rd inning of work through 2 innings. He has walked 2, struck out 1, the only Pilgrim pitcher yet to allow an earned run, and he peppers the strike zone against Craig Corliss to get us started here in the bottom of inning number 5. Craig on the day, 1 for 3. As he nubs this one off, it's going to chase Stoney out. First baseman comes to it, and the toss in time, no. Looked like it was there in time. Patnode's toss gets there late, as I believe Worth was a step late on the cover. Let's take a look at this play on the replay here. Oh, so let's see. So it's covered nicely by Patnode. The toss, yeah, pitcher never had his foot on the bag, so that's going to be, unfortunately for Nolan Stoney, he got where he needed to be, but his foot wasn't on the bag. And so if you're Corliss, this is the 2nd time now you've reached on an error today. He reached on an error back in the 4th, and he ended up scoring. Well, he did end up scoring. Now he reaches again. So in 4 at-bats, Craig Corliss is still 1 of 2. He has a 2 RBI double. He grounded into a double play, and now he has reached on an error twice. Gianni Zerilli up, 1 for 2 with a walk on the day. He struck out looking, singled, and walked his last at-bat. Big swing to get the at-bat started. He misses, but it pulls Normand off the bag, so his throw to second doesn't find anybody. It's an easy stolen base for Craig Corliss, of all people. One of the last people you expected just... That's on me, folks. I heard the extra PA announcement get made. I missed it. Bryce Evans, coming in to run, he's a freshman out of Hull, Massachusetts, takes that stolen base and makes a bit more sense. New player in, claiming that back. Big looping breaking ball there from Nolan Stoney, misses outside. And so the count now 1-1 for Gianni Zerilli Jr. Zerilli with a 1-1 count here. That one catches the outside corner. So Nolan Stoney, nice job there, bouncing back after thinking he would have gotten the ground out, then goes to committing the error. Now he's out in front of a great hitter in Gianni Zerilli Jr. He's ahead of him 1-2. Bryce Evans, about a 4-step lead off second base. Stoney gives him a look. Doesn't appear to be thinking too much of him. Comes set, the 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball, and it's hammered into left field for Zerilli Jr. Evans going to get the stop sign. He'll hold, but Zerilli Jr., his second hit of the afternoon as he just reaches out and smacks that one into the gap. We'll take a look at it here. Behind in the count, as you can see, and just does a great job staying back on that breaking ball from Stoney, hitting it into left field. And you can see Bryce Evans, he wanted to go, but the stop sign was held up well in front. But now 2 on and no out here for the Beaks as Bryce Evans, Craig Corliss' pinch runner, stands at third. That one fouled off by Boston Burris, and then Zerilli at first. Burris got his afternoon started with a ringing double into the left center field gap. He would come around to score. He grounded out in the third inning, reached on an error in the fourth. We're in the bottom of the fifth right now. The Beacons have a chance of batting around 4 times through the first 5 innings. Burris behind in the count 0-1. The switch hitter looks at that big looping breaking ball, misses just wide. And so the count remains. Or the count now 1-1. Burris getting the look here against the lefty Nolan Stoney. This is his second right-handed at-bat of the contest. First 2 he faced lefty. 1-1 pitch. That one misses up. Burris sitting pretty now with a 2-1 count. Burris, one of 4 Beacons to double this afternoon. That big looping breaking ball missing outside, and so Burris in a dangerous count right now. 3-1. Runners on the corners, no outs. Pickoff play here is Zerilli back easily. Doesn't need to slide. Throw comes back in. And so that'll just lead to a reset here. Bryce Evans, the runner at third. Gianni Zerilli, the runner at first. Boston Burris, the batter with the 3-1 count. That one comes in. It's an inside pitch, and Burris hammers it, and it goes into the gap in right center field. Evans is going to score easily. Zerilli's going to be waved around. He'll score standing up. Burris, can he get there? Yes, he can with a head-first slide, and it's a 2 RBI triple for Boston Burris. He follows up his double to start the contest with a big triple right-handed into the right center field gap, and the Beacons extend their lead to 11. It's 15-4. Look at this. Inside, he inside-outs it into the gap, and it's to the right of Luca Giolongo. Nothing he could do with it. By the time Ryan Cote gets to it, Burris well around second and sliding in safe with the triple. It's a 2 RBI triple for Burris. The Beacons are up 15-4. And Gavea, that's Burkett Schneider. I saw the one there. Let's read Burkett Schneider, who's having a great game for himself. Got his first hit of the season. Has scored twice now. He's 1 for 2 technically with a walk, a single, and a ground out. Fouled the first one back, and so the count now 0-1 to Reed Burkett Snyder. Oh, it's a wild pitch, and you can see there, I believe that's Burris. Yeah, Burris over at third base. He even took a look to see if he should go for it. Coach E saying, no, we're not doing that right now with an 11-run lead. Probably would have gotten there. And so Burris stays on third. Count now 1-1. Burkett Schneider with a chance to maybe get his first RBI of the campaign here. Stoney comes set. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Nice job from Burkett Schneider to stay back on that one. Fouls it over the netting, though, and the count is 1-2. Nolan Stoney, solid outing. Turning into a bit of a challenge here. Runner on third is Boston Burris. Still no outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Burkett Schneider, the 1-2 pitch. Turns on it, fielded cleanly by Patnode, and he touches the runner out, but it will be an RBI for Reed Burkett Schneider, an RBI ground out. You'll take him as you can get him, and the Beacons stretch the lead to 12. It's UMass Boston 16, NEC 4. "16 runs through just 4 1/3 for the Beaks right now. And it's Luke Levitt in his 4th at-bat of the contest. Folks, he's the 9-hole hitter, so Parker is off in the on-deck circle. It seems like every starter is going to get their 4 at-bats, and we might have a litany of bench players making at-bats in the coming hitters. That one taken low by Levitt. Count moves up to 2-0. Stoney through 2 1/3 has allowed 3 hits, 2 walks. He has struck out 1. That one nubbed right at the second baseman, Worth. Comes clean, throws out Levitt at first base. And so Levitt now yet to record a hit. He's walked twice, but he's now struck out and grounded out. And we'll get a new batter into the mix here. It's Joey Morrison, the freshman out of Sandwich, Massachusetts, entering the contest for Breon Parker. Morrison takes that one outside to get his day started with a ball. And so a little lefty-on-lefty matchup. Welcome to the contest, Morrison. You have a hard-throwing lefty in terms of Nolan Stoney across from you. Let's see how you handle it. That one misses outside. 2 quick balls thrown from Stoney against Joey Morrison. Morrison seeing action in his 25th game of the season. He's made 16 starts in this his freshman campaign. That pitch misses inside, and so the count remains strike-free. Morrison ahead, 3-0. Stoney finds the strike zone there as Morrison can't do anything with it. Still hitter-friendly count for Joey Morrison, now 3-1. Takes that one all the way. Didn't need to take the bat off his shoulder, and he draws a walk on 5 pitches. Chris Duco into the action now. And it looks like before he'll get a chance to go up and hit, we will see a pitching change. So Duco into the action for his 16th game. He'll have his 32nd at bat after we come back from this break. Beacons leading by 12 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be back after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way.
We good? Oh, sorry about that. My mic was on the whole time, guys. I'm just kidding. We have a new pitcher coming in for the Pilgrims. It's Ryan Hughes. Kidding. That's my folks. I wasn't ready for this. I was going to tell you guys Nolan Stoney's final line, but Ryan Hughes is up making his third appearance for the Pilgrims this afternoon. He's a right-handed pitcher and also a utility player. He has some batting stats to his name as well, but this is his third appearance on the mound out of Northwood, New Hampshire. Went to Co-Brown High School. All right, the line on Nolan Stoney is complete. He ended up being the pitcher to throw the most pitches in this contest. He goes 2 2/3, throws 55 pitches, only allows 3 hits, but he walks 3 runners reached on errors. So he does allow 3 runs in his outing. All right, so we have our first look here at number 4, Ryan Hughes, part-time position player, part-time right-handed pitcher, and he gets Chris Duco started off with a strike right down the pipe. The count moves to 0-1. So it was Morrison in for Breon Parker, and now Chris Duco in for Justin Gavea. Duco, a .258 hitter in 15 games of action on the season. Taking again there, and that one does catch the outside corner. I thought that one missed outside, but no, it catches the corner. Duco falls behind 0-2. Ryan Hughes, who has a hit in 7 at-bats as a hitter on the season, 1 strike away from getting himself his first strikeout on the campaign. He misses that one low. We put it up on the screen there. Not a lot out of Ryan Hughes. This is just his 3rd appearance. He's recorded 7 outs as a pitcher, allowed 1 hit, hasn't struck out any batters, and has walked 1. So not much in the scouting report out of number 4. That one low, Norman once again, as he's done all night, gets down to it, keeps it in front, and keeps Morrison on first. Duco now with the count at 2-2. Pops that one up. This one sends the shortstop back, and wow, almost a collision in the middle of the outfield. Instead, it's the shortstop, Brady Philippot, holding on. Bryce Worth avoids the collision, and the Pilgrims get out of any further damage. We will head to the 6th inning. It's a 12-run lead for the Beaks. UMass Boston 16, NEC 4. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, presented by LittleEast.tv.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things
Well, that was a crazy stretch there between innings. A lot of substitutions. We'll cover them as they come, but take a look at this. Making his first appearance of the 2023 campaign, Marcus Mensa. And for Marcus, a freshman out of Greenville, Rhode Island, here's his first pitch. And he just misses outside. Thought he got his season started with a strike there on the outside corner. It misses low and away. And so Ryan Cote starts his at-bat with an 0-1 count. Cote underneath that one, and so there's the first strike for the pitching career of Marcus Mensa. Timmy Cianciolo, in one inning, throws 28 pitches. He allows 2 hits and a walk, but he strikes out a runner and doesn't allow a run. So it'll be the most heart-pounding clean inning you could ever throw in relief for Timmy Cianciolo. But he's one and done, and now here's Marcus Mensa for the 6th inning. Behind Cote, 2-1. A lot of pop out of the right hand of this freshman here as he pulls that one across the strike zone, misses outside, 3-1. Cote, not the best average on the season, but they like his defense out in right field. He started every game he's played. That one does paint the outside corner, and so Mensa got a chance here with a count back full. It's 3-2. A .356 on-base percentage for Ryan Cote, and that's one of the better numbers, even with his 164 average. How about that? 1 batter, 1 strikeout for Marcus Mensa, as that's foul-tipped back into the glove of Bryce Evans. You'll take that clip for your career. 1 batter, 1 strikeout. We have it right here for you. Here you have it. You can see the slight tip. It's held by Evans. 1 batter, 1 strikeout for Marcus Mensa. Oh, now 1 batter, 1 hit by pitch. So a bunch of collegiate firsts for Marcus Mensa on this outing. He strikes out his first batter, and he hits his first batter a pitch after that is Devin Parsons. He takes that one off the back. Devin wears number 2. That one hits basically the top of the number 2. And now Luca Giolongo back up the center fielder to turn the lineup over. This is his 4th at bat. 0 for 3 on the contest is Giolongo. He's grounded out, struck out, and flown out. He lifts this one to center field. This is going to push Joey Morrison back on his getty-up. Still trading back, and he reaches up and makes the catch 2 steps from the warning track. Giolongo rounding second there. He thought he was bound for extra bases. Instead, we'll take a look at it right here. As it's Joey Morrison in center field right now. He got a great read on it, and it chased him back, but you can see comes set underneath, puts the squeeze on it, and that's out number 2. And a quick moving top of the 2nd inning for Marcus Mensa. Brady Philipott. 2 of the 7 hits for the Pilgrims have been off the bat of number 16. He's over the 300 mark on the season now, is Brady Philipott. He has 18 hits and is 59 at-bats. 1-0 the count. That one chasing inside. It just misses the jersey there. Marcus Mensa playing with fire coming inside. Seeing a lot of velocity here out of the true freshman. Not timid by any means here in this outing. That one piped right down the middle. A lot of velocity, and you can see Philbot, even if he took his bat off his shoulders there, not sure if he would have been able to turn that one around. Count is back to 2-1. This will be the 9th pitch of the inning for Mensa. He pulls that one, misses low. And Philbot, a dangerous hitter, any way you want to look at it, in a very good position right here with a freshman pitcher across from him. Philbot, a sophomore out of Weir, New Hampshire. 3-1 count. That one misses low, bounced in there, and so Philbot will gladly take his base. He has reached on 3 of his 4 at-bats this afternoon. And already coming into play today with a .412 on-base percentage. That'll push his OPS over 850. And if nothing else, puts a dangerous hitter in the form of Kyle Dobry with a chance to put some runs back next to the NEC name on the scoreboard here at Monin Park. First pitch to Dobry, he's first pitch swinging, and that one jams him a bit. He fouls it back just off the back netting right behind the NEC college dugout. You know, it's funny, there's a walking path right behind that dugout, and it looked like there was a young man on a scooter. If that ball didn't hit the netting, that was right in line to him. He's lucky. He almost got hit with a foul ball, and he has no idea. The things that you see around campus here at UMass Boston. Mensa ahead in the count, 0-1. That's a nice breaking pitch. It just misses the bottom corner, and it'll even the count back out at 1 apiece. Dobry, 1 of 3 in his 3 at-bats. He started his first inning with a strikeout swinging. He then reached on a single in the 3rd inning and ultimately scored. And then he struck out looking in his at-bat to lead off the 5th inning. So the 1-1 count, pitch into Dobry. That one finds the inside corner. Mensa in a good spot here, ahead of Kyle Dobry, 1-2. This is the team's 3-hole hitter, batting almost 300 on the season. What a story Mensa could tell in his first collegiate outing if he gets a strikeout here. He misses outside. Evans gets down to it, but that will be a pass ball, sending both runners ahead of base, and now that's 2 in scoring position for the Pilgrims. Mensa comes set, the 2-2 pitch, grounded and grounded foul, so Dobry doing his best to hang in there. We get the windows closed up here in the press box. It was never really a warm afternoon here out on the peninsula. Getting pretty chilly now as the clouds have not gone anywhere. That one's grounded, fielded cleanly by Nick Farnese. He throws over to first, and the 3rd out is retired. So 2 base runners reach, but Marcus Mensa gets out of trouble with no runs allowed. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The score remains Beacons 16, Pilgrims 4. Actually, we're not going anywhere. Let's take a look at this. This is how Mensa got himself out of the inning. Ground ball to second, Farnese, easy turn and burn, and the Beacons are through 6 innings with a 12-run
changed
lead.
my life. And I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
Mike Gorham getting his first at-bat of the afternoon for the Beacons in the left-handed batter's box. Yet to record a hit on the season. Mike has 12 at-bats. He scored once, walked 4 times. It does have 1 RBI to his name. Big swing on that one. He fouls it straight back into the netting, and now he's behind in the count, 0-2. Gorham, a local product from Westford, Massachusetts. Went to the Winchendon School. Out in front of that one. Oh, and a great diving play made it first. The toss, not in time, though. Hughes couldn't cover the bag in time. And Brett Patnode, he's having maybe a career game defensively twice now. Beautiful highlight reel plays, gone for naught because the pitcher covering the bag, not on the bag. You got to assume that Brian Hughes and Brett Patnode are going to have a conversation with each other about that. So Gorman advances on the error. And now here is Nick Farnese into the game at second base. Farnese lifts this one in towards the gap in right center field. Gianlongo gets there in time. Luca Gianlongo training to his left. Had it to get up on his horse. Got there at the last second and puts the squeeze on it for out number 1. We'll get another at-bat out of Bryce Evans, but before that happens, take a look at this catch right here. Or pardon me, that's the play by Brett Patnode. Gets down to it. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better scoop. Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was there, guys. We're all looking at that right now. I think if you're Brian Hughes, you might have a legitimate dog in the fight. He's out. I mean, that foot's on the base, and so if you're NEC right now, hey, we're showing it to you in HD. That's an unfortunate call right there, and you still have a runner on first because of it. Evans takes the first 2 pitches for strikes. He's very quickly behind in the count 0-2. But goodness, if you're Brian Hughes and you pull this broadcast back up, rest assured you got there in time. And so Brett Patnode, we remembered how beautiful that play was. That one's back up the middle. Oh, and a nice, nifty play by Worth. They get the turn, and the Pilgrims do get the double play. So one web gem for Knott, but then a beautiful turn from Bryce Worth at second, and the Pilgrims get out of trouble. 1 hit, no runs. We'll move to the top of the 7th. All of a sudden, this game moving very quickly. The lead is held for quite some time. Beacon 16, Pilgrims 4.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a-lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college
So that line
experience,
on
not only
Marcus
participate
Mensa
in your
is
sport,
complete. He
but
goes 1 inning, strikes out 1, allows a hit, but no runs. And so his collegiate debut goes swimmingly. Now for another promising young freshman for the Beaks, it's number 37, Justin DeFalco, on the mound here at Monin Park. Justin making his 6th appearance of the season. He's thrown 8 1/3 innings so far, a very solid 2.16 ERA through those 8 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 5, walked 4, and brings a 1-0 record next to his name. So for the talented freshman out of West Boylston, Massachusetts, a smaller body pitcher with a very, very live arm. Not quite sure the official word on this contest, if it could be a 7-inning game. It seemed like with the personnel changes that both teams were making, we were headed that direction. Not official yet, but one could think if the Beacons do end the top of this 7th inning, holding a 10-run lead, that might be it. So, folks, just be ready for that as you watch this contest. It's Sylvain Audet, who 3 at-bats, 3 walks. He's shown great patience in the batter's box. He's up here against Justin DeFalco as we get the top of the 7th inning started. Audet takes, and this time he takes a strike. That one off the plate slightly, but it nicks the outside corner. And Bryce Evans has to change his equipment. So 1 pitch and 1 adjustment for Bryce Evans. Sylvain Audet, you had to figure it's been going so well for him keeping the bat on the shoulder, he was going to take first pitch right there. If you're DeFalco, you can't paint that outside corner any better. Let's see if maybe he busts him inside. That's where Evans is setting up for the 0-1 pitch. Does just that. Handcuffs Audet a little bit, but a great job by Audet to check the swing and keeps the count even at 1-1. J.D. Normand in the on-deck circle for the Pilgrims. Big swing from Audet there, and he just swung inside that pitch as it was out over the outer half of the plate. DeFalco in a great position here against the big hitter Sylvain Audet. He's ahead of him 1-2. Started him off with 2 fastballs, then went to a breaking pitch. The 1-2 pitch on the way. It's another breaking ball. A little excuse me check swing from Sylvain Audet. Fielded cleanly down the third base line, and the count remains 1-2. DeFalco, 5th best ERA of all pitchers on the UMass Boston staff. And not really light work. He's pushing 10 innings of work so far on the season. Misses that one just high, and the count goes back even to 2-2. Audet was behind in the count 1-2 in 2 of his 3 prior walks. So showing great patience even in the face of being behind in the count, not afraid to just keep the bat on the shoulder. He does it there to his own detriment. That is strike 3 looking as Justin DeFalco gets his afternoon started with a bang. Another K against the Pilgrims. Audet, that goes down as his first technical at bat, and he is now 0-1 with a strikeout. The Beacons rallying up the team strikeout totals. They still hold this 16-4 lead. J.D. Normand, 2 of 3 on the day. Both of his hits led to 2-run plays for the Pilgrims. He had an RBI single back in the first inning, and then a second run scored on an error on that play. And in the third inning, a laser 2 RBI double into the right center field gap. Out in front of DeFalco. Underneath that one, he fouls it straight back in the count at 1-0. One and one to Normand. Big swing, and DeFalco dialed in right now as he busts him on the inside corner. Late swing from Normand, and DeFalco ahead 1-2. Justin DeFalco on that strikeout of Audet. That was his 6th K of the season. Vying for number 7 right here. 1-2 pitch. Catches the outside corner, and again, it is a strikeout looking on a beautiful Justin DeFalco breaking ball. Wow. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts, and just a complete dominant outing so far through the first 2 ABs of this top of the 7th inning. Brett Patnode, he's shown some great leather out there at first base. Yet to produce at the plate today. He's 0 of 3. First pitch, big swing, and DeFalco just having the Pilgrims guessing right now. That one was low and away. Patnode offered at it regardless. Comes up empty. Patnode, the 4th leading hitter he's played in the most contests. This is his 25th game and his 25th start. Missed just 1 game so far for the Pilgrims. That breaking ball, I think that one came across high. It missed inside as well. So the count remains the count now 1-1 against Brett Patnode. DeFalco has thrown just 3 balls of his 12 pitches here in the 7th inning. That one is hit high to center field, not that deep. Morrison settling under it, and he puts the squeeze on it to end the 7th inning. To end the top of the 7th inning. So let's see what the verdict is here. The Pilgrims taking the field, and it looks like we are headed to the bottom of the 7th at Monin Park. And so we'll throw it to a break here as we stretch midway through the 7th inning. The lead, as it's been for quite some time, holds Beacon 16, Pilgrims 4.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
All right, welcome back here. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. We weren't sure if we were going to carry on in this contest. A multitude of personnel changes now for the Pilgrims. We'll cover them when they get there. It's Josh Garner, his first at-bat of the contest for the Beaks. Josh seeing some of his first action of the season as a position player. He's made 8 appearances as a relief pitcher on the season. Big swing at that one. It's his first strike of the at-bat. And it's now 2-1 on the count. Looping breaking ball there from Hughes. He misses outside as Brian Hughes is in his second inning of action. Misses wide, and this is a big spot here for Garner. Keeps the bat on his shoulder there. He thought that one missed high, but no, it does catch the upper inside corner of the strike zone. And the count goes full. Brian Hughes, nice job battling here in this at-bat against Josh Garner. Misses there, and so Garner on with a walk. He's made 8 pitching appearances on the season with a 1.08 ERA and registers a walk in his hitting stats. Boston Burris, he's still in the contest. And he rips that one back up the middle for a base hit. Garner taking the big turn. He'll hold right there as Harold Martinez comes up fast with that one in dead center field. But one pitch, one swing, one hit for Boston Burris, who is now 3 of 5 on the afternoon. And Boston Burris, hey, is a home run away from the cycle. He started with a double, then got a triple, back to a single, saving that home run for last. You never know. We might have some fun here in the 8th inning at Monin Park. Reed Burkett Schneider for his 5th at-bat of the contest. He is 1 of 3. A single, 2 groundouts, one of those an RBI groundout. And this one is flared into left. That's going to drop for a base hit. Late read on the play by Garner. He'll hold at third, but now the base is chock full of beacons as Reed Burkett Schneider gets his 2nd hit of the contest. So he's now 2 of 4. He has 2 singles and a walk. He has 2 groundouts as well. One of those went for an RBI, so that's going to be a nice night to remember for the designated hitter, Reed Burkett Schneider. Take a look at this right now. We have a look at the hit from Burkett Schneider. Just went right back up the middle with it, and that loads the bases. Here's Luke Levitt, the only player in the Beacon starting lineup yet to record a base hit. And he waits on that one. It catches the inside corner for the first strike of the at-bat. Levitt, oh wow, a line drive. Look at what Hughes found. And coming back at the last second was Boston Burris. Brian Hughes, very lucky to avoid personal injury, but even luckier to come up with the catch on that one. He didn't know he caught it until it was in his glove. We have it for you right here. Great job getting back on the play right there as camera thought that the runner was going to go. And you can see right there the exhale from Hughes as he got out of that one without any trouble. Levitt could not have hit that any harder. We got it. All right, so here we go. I think we do have the angle of it. Levitt stayed home on it. What a play by Hughes right there. Now into the box for the Beacons is Joey Morrison. We just saw Joey make a nice play out in center field for the Beaks defensively to end the top of the 7th inning. Now he'll get a spin in the batter's box. Morrison hitting .263 on the season. Grounds that one. It's fielded very nicely at first base. That's Tyler Gendron into the contest. He makes the play at first for the out, but the Beacons do push one more across. So Morrison going to get an RBI ground out. That's the third RBI ground out hit by the Beaks in this contest, and their first run since the bottom of the 5th inning. It's their 17th run to go along with 17 hits. They're now up 17-4. Chris Duco up again for the Beaks. 0 for 1 in his first at-bat. He flew out deep to right field his first time up. Duco came into this contest as a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning. Not quite sure what the ump came out. It looked like the catcher, Aaron Robertson, was headed to have a mound visit with Brian Hughes, and the ump basically just called it off. He didn't point to either dugout to issue a proper mound visit, so they're not going to have that conversation they thought they were going to. Instead, Hughes just right back at it on a 1-0 count, and he misses up and away. Duco, a very dangerous hitter for somebody who have entered this game midway through a blowout. To have to face a 260 hitter with some pop coming off the bench, tough task for Hughes. Duco in a hitter's count right now at 2-0. Breaking ball. Beautiful breaking ball at bat for Hughes. And it's 2-1 the count against Duco. That one fouled straight back. Duco was right on it, just under it on the swing. And so Hughes, yet to get a strikeout in this outing, has a chance for one here. Solid job battling out of Ryan Hughes. He's now thrown 30 pitches. He surrendered 3 hits, but only 1 earned run, the one that you just saw. That one low, great eye from Duco to work the count full. Chris out of Dedham, Massachusetts, went to Xaverian Brothers High School. Part-time starter both this season and last season, and he draws the walk. And so the base is loaded full of Beacons again, and it's the dangerous hitter Mike Gorman headed to the bait. First pitch to Gorham, breaking ball, and it misses well inside, and that one is lost somewhere. I thought it might have even gotten inside the shin pad of Robertson. It was just down at his foot. So Hughes can't get out of trouble there as he surrenders the walk, and all of a sudden now behind to Gorham, 1-0. Could there be an exclamation point on the outing today for the Beacons? Gorham takes that one. It catches the bottom inside corner. Count 1-1. 1-1 pitch to the big lefty. He was right on it and fouled it straight back. And once again, Ryan Hughes, another chance to pitch himself out of too much trouble in this contest. The outing that the Pilgrims are getting out of Ryan Hughes, I'm sure they would have wanted that out of either Christopher Chagnon or Seth Bolch when this game got started. Hughes loops that one, just doesn't quite catch the strike zone. For Hughes now, 32 pitches thrown. It was 35 pitches thrown, allowing 7 runs for Christopher Chagnon. And Seth Balch, not much better of a clip. He allowed 6 runs on 52 pitches. Noah Stoney came in. He had a much better outing, allowing 3 runs across 2 2/3 inning pitch. Gorham with a full count and the bases loaded. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Runners go. That pitch misses wide, and the Beacons stretch their lead out to 18-4. Can't go understated. We're seeing how valuable a patient bat can be. And it can't go understated. It's an RBI all the same if you're able to keep the bat on your shoulders in a tough full count situation. Nick Farnese back in the batter's box for the Beaks. .208 his average coming into action. 0 of 1 in the early going for Farnese. Second pitch misses wide, and so the count back even to Nick Farnese at 1-1. One pitch that does catch the outside corner. Farnese, nothing he could do with that one. Great placement there for Ryan Hughes. And once again, Ryan Hughes, where he's been quite a bit here in the top of the seventh inning, or the bottom of the seventh inning, one strike away from getting himself out of trouble. 1-2 pitch. Grounded sharply, fielded cleanly by Tyler Gendron. He made two nice plays in the bottom of the seventh, and that will take us to the end of 7. Beacons add 1 to their total, and it's a 14-run lead as we head to the top of the 8th. Beacons 18, Pilgrims 4. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Aiden McMillan, the next pitcher up in the Beacons rotation, and it's the lefty getting his turn on the mound. Aiden is a junior out of Walpole, Mass, and he also played his high school ball, just like Chris Duco, at Zavarian Brothers. Aiden making his 4th appearance of the season with some little bit left to be desired in that ERA department. A 27 ERA. Going to hope for a quick outing right here and drop that number down a bit. It's a pinch hitter for NEC, Johnny Canavo, the junior out of Weymouth, Mass. He is up in the box for the Pilgrims to lead off this the top of the 8th inning. Strong offensive showing out of the Beaks as that one misses well wide inside from McMillan, knocking Canavo off the plate in his first bat. Canavo playing in his 18th game of the season. He's made 9 starts so far. That one just missing high as McMillan thought he got it. Canavo coming into action today with a .242 batting average, 1 double, and 7 singles on the season. So he can put bat to ball here. He takes that one. That one misses well high. So McMillan can't find the zone with a fastball on the first pitch. He's tried 2 straight breaking balls. Let's see what's in line for the 3-0 pitch. That one misses high. So 4 pitches, all 4 of them stared at by Canavo. And so he's on with a walk to get us started here in the top of the 8th inning. Quinn Mansberger, a sophomore out of Hooksett, New Hampshire, into the box here for the Pilgrims. This is just his 2nd at-bat on the season. Stays pretty low in the box there, just 5'7" frame, so lower strike zone. That one misses well high for McMillan. He's thrown 5 pitches, yet to find the strike zone. Does paint the inside corner right there, and so gets one back against Quinn Mansberger. Mansberger filling in the spot in the lineup filled by Ryan Cote. He went 0 for 4 on the day. Breaking ball missing inside from the left hand of Aiden McMillan. And so the count in Quinn Mansberger's favor, 2-1. Takes a big hack at that one, fouls it right back into the netting, and so McMillan 1 strike away from recording his first out here in the 8th inning. Mansberger Three at-bats officially. 2 of those he walked in. Good patience out of the sophomore. 2-2 pitch coming. Big swing, and he foul tip held on to by Evans. That's the second time Evans has held on to a foul tip for a strikeout, and it will be the first K of the afternoon for Aiden McMillan as he retires Quinn Mansberg. For McMillan, that's just his 3rd strikeout of the season. In this, his 4th appearance. This is Adams in the box for NEC. Braden Adams entered this contest as the 3rd baseman. He's in the lineup spot for Devin Parsons. Behind in the count 0-1, takes that one high. And the count back even at 1-1. Braden Adams, just like Quinn Mansberger, this is his 3rd at-bat on the season. He's playing in his 4th game of the year. Started 1 time for NEC this year. Big looping breaking ball. It misses just high. So Braden Adams ahead in the count now 2-1. Aiden McMillan, the 5th pitcher used by the Beacons this afternoon, as that one's fouled straight back way over our heads. 2-strike count now against Braden Adams. Josh Eastman, he threw the first 4 innings of this contest, allowing 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Allowing 5 hits, he struck out 4 and walked 2. 2-2 pitch on the way to Braden Adams. That one misses inside. Evans does a nice job keeping it in front of him. Then Tim Cianciolo came on. He got out of the 5th inning unscathed, but it took him 28 pitches. He surrendered 2 hits and a walk before getting a strikeout to get out of the inning. Marcus Mensa, a perfect top of the 6th inning in his collegiate debut. He walked 1, but he struck out 1. Big swing and 2 strikeouts now for Aiden McMillan as he went to the fastball quite a bit and then took a little bit off right there against Braden Adams. Adams misses out in front, and the lineup is turned over with 2 straight strikeouts for Aiden McMillan. Harold Martinez, the new center fielder, seeing his first at-bat of the evening. He came in for Luca Gialongo back 2 innings ago. McMillan, now all of a sudden dialed in as that fastball waved at and missed by Martinez. Harold Martinez, a true freshman, out of Wethersfield, Connecticut, went to Wethersfield High. Playing in his 15th game on the season. Solid hitting numbers off the bench. He's at .240 in 18 plate appearances off the bench. He does have 2 doubles and an RBI to his name. So off the bench, pretty dangerous hitter for the Pilgrims, but he's behind McMillan 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch, that breaking ball misses well inside. Once again, Evans, lovely job getting down and keeping it blocked. Bryce Evans, the freshman out of Hull, Massachusetts, showing out behind the plate this afternoon, looking like he'll be a great option moving forward once it is time for the departure of Craig Corliss. McMillan vying for his 3rd straight strikeout. That one misses high, and right after I compliment Bryce Evans, that one goes right off his glove. It's passed by. Runner takes second. Does Johnny Canavo. And now he's in a scoring position. This is the first time NEC has had runners in scoring position since the top of the 6th inning with Marcus Mensa on the mound. He did allow a runner to reach second, quickly got out of trouble right after that. 2-2 on the way. That one also inside. McMillan not afraid to test these batters who are crowding the plate, and Harold Martinez, after falling behind 2 strikes, a patient eye brings this count back full. Johnny Canavo, the runner on second base. Harold Martinez in the box with a full count, and he gets beaned. You could see McMillan was just trying to test Martinez inside after he got him to swing and miss at the first 2 outside pitches and just could never find that inside quarter. So for Aiden McMillan, his weird top of the 8th continues as such. He walks Canavo, then strikeouts Mansberger and Adams, and goes on and hits Harold Martinez. So now 2 runners on, one of them in scoring position. As Rumi Ramos into the contest now, the new shortstop at bat for the Pilgrims. Ramos, another true freshman. NEC really emptying the clip of their young players here, trying to get all of them some playing time this afternoon. He's out of Loaiza, Puerto Rico. Played at the Inspiration Academy. Great pitch there from McMillan as that one dives in towards the knees of Ramos, but catches the bottom inside corner. The count back even at 1-1. Aiden McMillan just recorded strikeouts 4 and 5 on the campaign for him. Ramos reaches out, pokes that one, and it will fade out of play over the Beacons dugout. McMillan 1 strike away from getting himself out of this inning and on to the bottom of the 8th. Beacons leading 18-4. Thanks to a 13-run first 3 innings here in this contest. The game has settled down quite a bit, but it's been one that the Beacons have been dominating really the whole way. McMillan, fastball right down the middle, late swing, but Ramos puts a bat to it to keep his count alive. Rumi Ramos playing in his 12th game of the season. He started 4 of those contests. He does have 2 hits in 13 at-bats. 154 his average on the season. 1-2 pitch from McMillan. Swing. And I believe, not even a throw to first. I thought for a second that they were calling that foul, but you can see the umpire, Bryce Evans, did a great job scooping that one up. No contact made with the bat, and so it will be 3 strikeouts swinging for Aiden McMillan in the in the top of the 8th. We move to the bottom of the 8th here at Monin Park. Not much changing. The Beacons still leading by a lot. Beacons 18, Pilgrims 4. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you on LittleEast.tv.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
All right, and we will rejoin the action here as it's been between every inning here at Monin Park. A slew of personnel changes. Bryce Evans in the batter's box for the Beacons. He's 0 of 1 on the day, and Corey O'Day coming in for the bottom of the 8th for the Pilgrims. A lot of velocity out of this right-hander, and he puts that one into the dirt low to get his evening started. Corey O'Day, a sophomore out of Nashua, New Hampshire. Listed at 5'10", also does a little bit of catching on the season for the Pilgrims as well. Has yet to record any hitting stats. This is his 8th appearance pitching on the season, bringing in a 9.53 ERA, and he pitched 11 and a third up to this point. So a deep bullpen arm, and Evans is going to greet him with a base hit right up the middle. Reaching out and wasting no time is Bryce Evans getting into the hit parade, and he will extend this contest here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's his first hit. And he sets the table now for the shortstop, number 14, Josh Garner. Garner walked his first time up. Waiting for the delivery from O'Day. Took a little bit off that one and was able to cut it back in towards the outside corner. So 0-1 the count against Garner. Big swing, and it's quickly 0-2 as Corey O'Day pumping it in. Not the biggest frame on this pitcher. He's listed at 5'10". Heights from this far away, you can never really tell, but he doesn't have, definitely not anything like a Josh Eastman physique on the mound, and yet he's generating some velocity here. That one, yeah, right over the middle of the plate, and Garner knew it before the rest of us. He strikes out looking, and so a nice job for Corey O'Day. Looks like Ben Cherry going to get the pinch hit at bat for the Beacons. But a nice job from O'Day after the first pitch was laced into center field for a base hit from Evans. He recovers with a 3-pitch strikeout against Garner. Now Ben Cherry in the box for the Beacons. He takes that first pitch outside for ball 1. Ben, a freshman outfielder from Manchester, Connecticut. 6 foot tall, weighing in at 220. This is just his second at bat on the season. Right now, folks, he's batting 1,000. 1 at bat, 1 hit on the campaign for Ben Cherry. So he's got a good thing going here. And a runner on first. And he's ahead in the count now, 2-0, with Corey O'Day falling behind. O'Day comes set, pitch, right down the pipe. You can see this wind howling right now. It's been more or less helping the ball out to right. It seems like it's switched ever so slightly, and it's just blowing in from the left field line across the face of the field. It's knocked off Corey O'Day's hat 3 times already here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And 4 times now as it comes off, as that one misses outside, and the count up to 3-1. So Ben Cherry, in his freshman season, hey, he's got this college batting thing figured out. He's 1 for 1 on the year, now sitting pretty with a 3-1 count. And let's see what number 38 has lined up. Corey O'Day comes set. The 3-1 pitch misses low, and so Ben Cherry on board with a walk.
Designated hitter number 73, Burkett Schneider.
This is one of 2 players who has stayed in the lineup the entire game. Reed Burkett Schneider now up to bat. It's already his 5th RBI of the contest, or pardon me, his 5th at-bat of the contest. My apologies. He has 2 hits, including an RBI single, and he's walked. So 5 trips to the plate, and now this is his 5th official at-bat. Great game for Burkett Schneider, who was hitless in 4 at-bats coming into action. His average is at .333 now, thanks to his performance today. But he's behind Corey O'Day here, 0-2. O'Day been all over the place in his first 3 batters. He allowed a first pitch hit to Evans, then struck out Garner on 3 pitches, then walked Ben Cherry on 5. Has a chance to put down Reed Burkett Schneider 1-2-3. Great job defensive hitting there from Burkett Schneider, as that one, it was well off the plate, but you got to swing the bat when it's that close, and he was able to just throw it off into the Pilgrims' dugout. Keep this count going at 0-2. Reed Burkett Schneider, one of 2 Texas natives on this Beacons baseball team. The other, his partner in the infield, Boston Burris. 0-2 pitch, beautiful breaking ball from O'Day, and try as he might, Burkett Schneider couldn't hold back long enough. He tips it into the glove of Robertson, who holds on to it. And so O'Day, up and down inning, continues on the roller coaster right now. He's struck out Garner looking. He just struck out Burkett Schneider swinging. The Beacons have batted around 6 full times right now. As Luke Levitt, he started this game in the 9-hole. He's up, and he will get a base hit up the middle. He was the only player in the Beacons starting lineup yet to record a hit. Now, all 9 starters for the Beacons do find themselves a base hit. Levitt knocks one into center field. That is his 6th hit of the season. And the evening continues for Joey Morrison, now with the bases loaded. Morrison 1 at bat this afternoon. Got himself an RBI, or pardon me, 2 at bats. He walked in his first at bat and recorded an RBI ground out his last time up. That was the 18th run scored by the Beacons in this contest. Bases loaded for Morrison, first pitch swinging, and he wants that one back. It was right down the pipe. He fouls it straight back and is behind in the count 0-1. Mentioned the last time he came up, Morrison, a true freshman out of Sandwich, Massachusetts. Highly touted player. He started in 16 of the Beacons' 27 games on the season. That's a beautiful pitch from Corey O'Day, who's found something here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's 1 strike away from getting himself out of trouble. At least one more chance here for Joey Morrison. Bases are loaded. Beacons leading 18-4. 0-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball. That one's looped right in the middle of the infield. Wow, not breaking stride at all was David Spiegel, and he's able to get to it and put the squeeze on it is number 6 to get the Pilgrims out of the 8th inning. One more inning to go here. We'll head to the top of the 9th. The Beacons still holding a 14-run lead. Take a look at this nice play from Spiegel as it's popped up. He's on the wrong side of second base, gets to it, avoids the slide of the running Luke Levitt, and that's a nice play to bring us to the end of the 8th inning. We'll take a break here, and we'll be back with the finale after this on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded.
Owen Ackerman into the contest for the Beaks in his 3rd appearance on the season. He's gone 1 2/3 in his 2 prior appearances. Owen, a freshman out of Woburn, Massachusetts. He went to Woburn Memorial High. Yeah, this is just his 3rd appearance for the Beaks. Similar to Aiden McMillan, a 27 ERA coming into action. So nowhere but up from here for Owen. He has allowed 8 hits in his 1 2/3 innings of work. 8 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. He does have 2 strikeouts on the season. Also entering the contest for the Beacons, Max Garner making his collegiate debut behind the plate, the true freshman out of Arlington, Mass. And Mariano Jimenez coming into the action, the sophomore out of Waltham. He is at 3rd base for the Beacons. Patrick Haggerty up for the NEC Pilgrims, his first at-bat of the contest, and he promptly gets drilled in between the 2 and the 0. So, welcome to the Diamond, Owen Ackerman. You're going to have some people with some thoughts from that Pilgrims dugout, as that one does find the back of Brendan Haggerty. And he's on. And now we do have another pinch hitter. Instead of Aaron Robertson, it's going to be another catcher on the Pilgrims roster, A.J. DeSaro. A.J., a junior out of Longmeadow, Massachusetts. This is just his 6th at-bat on the season. A.J. still hitless in his 5 at-bats up to this point. Behind in the count, 1-0. Ackerman comes set, delivers. A little check swing that's going to get through both fielders. Wow, the first baseman, Gorham, was holding the runner on, and that check swing just gets through the area of the field he wasn't at. Now Robertson is up with 2 runners on and no outs, and Owen Ackerman, looks like we have a pinch runner coming in to first base. That's Austin Hazard, who is listed actually as a pitcher in the roster for NEC. He's also appeared as a base runner 8 times. This is the catcher, Aaron Robertson, for his first at-bat of the afternoon, and he takes a strike. That's got to feel good for Owen Ackerman on the outside corner, in the count 0-1. Ackerman right back to it. Garner set behind the plate. Look at that breaking ball. It had Robertson bailing out. It almost came back and caught the inside corner. It misses inside, and the count back even at 1-1. Aaron Robertson. Crouched, squared stance in the batter's box. He reaches out, and is this one going to get through? No, sliding play. Throw across the diamond. Oh, and that was a ball better kept in the glove as it skips in on Gorham, and a run is going to score. So Haggerty got this inning started getting hit in the back, and ultimately, after that throw, probably should have been held on to by Josh Garner. It gets past the first baseman, Mike Gorham, and we have the replay for you right here. As you can see, Garner even takes a second to decide to throw it. Then he cocks the throw all the way across the diamond. Probably would have been better suited just holding on to that one and keeping the bases loaded. Instead, a run does come across, and now Ackerman, he wasn't going to get out on that play anyway, but it's just tougher to look at the score being 18-5, still yet to record an out, and you still do have runners at the corners. Tyler Gendron recently just entered this contest. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Gendron replacing the first baseman Brett Patnode, who had himself a nice afternoon at first. Gendron made a nice play to end the inning in the bottom of the 8th. He takes that one on the outside corner, and so now Owen Ackerman, 1 strike away from getting his first out here in the top of the 9th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Right down the middle, that one's popped up. Gorham shading back. He gets called off by the second baseman, Farnese. Nick puts a squeeze on it, and that is a very timely out number 1 here in the top of the 9th. Johnny Canavo back up. He walked and scored in his first at-bat of the contest. He's now into the game at second base. So he made the most out of his first plate appearance. The junior out of Weymouth, Mass. Let's see what plate appearance number 2 comes to bring. Ackerman pulls that pitch. Nice snag there by Max Garner as that one pulled him to his right. Got the glove to it. And keeps the score at 18-5. No real lead from either of the 2 runners on the corners, and the 1-0 pitch from Ackerman does catch the outside corner. Not much Canavo could have done with that one. He doesn't offer anyway. One and one. That one pulled a bit. Ackerman, the second that he hit Haggerty on that first pitch of the inning, he's really been focused on just painting the outside corner. Hasn't gone inside all that often. Will that be what he has in store on this 2-1 pitch to Canavo? No, once again on the outside corner, the umpire had been pretty generous with him up until that pitch. That one misses off the outside corner, and the count to a very hitter-friendly spot for Johnny Canavo. It's 3-1. That one, grounded. Could this be two? No, Farnace's going to make the smart play. He'll take the out at first. One more run is going to score as Austin Hazard, the pinch runner, comes across and plates that run. So 2 runs blemished by Owen Ackerman. And the score now 18-6, but down to 2 outs now in the contest. Noah Winship, number 31, he's the right fielder in the contest right now. 2 outs, runner at second, and Ackerman gets Winship started with a strike right down the middle. Beacons 1 out away from their 18th win on the season. And this result will break a statistical anomaly for both teams. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and miss. Winship is behind that one. Coming into action today, the Beacons just 6-5 at Monon Park. The win today will bump them up to 7-5. NEC, meanwhile, was only 1-5 at home. They were actually 6-6 on the road. The loss will get them back under 500, bringing them to 6-7 on the road on the season. We're still 1 strike away from that point yet, so can't put all our eggs in that basket as that 0-2 pitch misses inside from Ackerman. 1-2 pitch. On its way to Winship, swing and a miss, and that will do it. And Owen Ackerman has an up and down final inning, but he does close it out in style with his 2nd strikeout of the evening. And this game has gone final. The Beacons, 19 hits en route to their 18th win of the season, scoring 18 runs. Josh Eastman, in his first start of the season, he will get the win. Christopher Chagnon, in just 2 innings of worth, suffers the loss. No save needed as the Beacons win 18-6. So we'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll have the final numbers and wrap it up for you here at Monon Park. Beacons victorious. They move to 18-10 on the season. They win 18-6.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong.
Here we are final. This was our play of the game. Breon Parker at the turn of the 3rd inning. It was a 2-2 ball game until that right there. Parker lacing it into the gap. Beacons went up 4-2, and they never looked back en route to their 18-6 win. Another look at that one as it was out over the plate. He reaches out, slaps it into the right center field gap, and that really put the train on the tracks and had the Beacons off and running en route to this 12-run win. We take a look at the upcoming schedule here, and the Beacons, it's a packed schedule. They had a game yesterday, a game today. Why not one tomorrow out in Dudley, Massachusetts, as they'll take on Nichols College at 3:30. A conference doubleheader and a big one at that in Gorham, Maine, against the University of Southern Maine. That doubleheader on Sunday. 3 games next week, one of them a conference game at Plymouth State, and then 2 home games against Babson College and Suffolk University. It was a fun afternoon, but guys, we have places to go, so let's wrap this baby up, shall we? Our producer today, Michael Vesci. My director, 2 seats to my left, Maria Spilios. Couldn't have done it without her. The Albano sisters, 2 of the 3. We have Gina running graphics. Allie was our replay coordinator today. Sarah St. Surin, Jazz Krivtsov, Mike Manzo, a hockey-basketball connection on the cameras for us today. My name's Chris Del Sordo. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Couldn't have had a better time bringing you the Beacons' 18th win of the season. Beacons